Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome back to more Danganronpa V3, Killing Harmony, where this is Chapter 3's trial. So if you somehow clicked on this video without knowing that, then I guess you got spoiled. But anyway,
yeah.
Without further ado, I guess let's jump right into it. But
Let's do it.
last trial is in session.
Ahem. Now then, let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. During the trial, you'll present your arguments for who the culprit is, and vote for who done it. Vote correctly, and only the blackened will be punished. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will graduate from this academy. Also, refusing to vote will result in your death, so you better vote for someone. Now, smiles, everyone! It's showtime! Let's get this crazy awesome trial underway!
Sorry, everyone. I don't think I'm gonna be much help this time. Because of Monokuma's disruptions, I couldn't do a thorough investigation.
I can tell Monokuma is overcompensating to hide his self-consciousness.
Next time, spend less time fixing your hair and more time investigating, spaceman!
Shut up! I don't need to hear some comedy act from you two weirdos.
Wow. Monica was just insulting him.
Who did it? Who killed Angie and Tenko?
Do not let your emotions hasten your judgment. There may be two killers.
So, our other culprit might not be one of us here.
Hmm? What do you mean?
The transfer student. Maybe our resurrected transfer student dragged Angie and Tenko into the grave.
Stop it! Stop making stuff up!
Say
Kaito's
something,
gonna
Shuichi.
leave.
It'll be a mess if this keeps going on.
Is it even possible for a revived corpse to be the culprit? Well, in the interest of being thorough, I should clear things up here. Yeah, the part of the ritual was to burn the what's it? The Necronomicon, but it's still here, so clearly the ritual was not actually completed.
Fair enough.
Unless it's a fake Necronomicon.
Well, I mean, there were Monica in it. I'd
This
imagine
crime was
it's probably
committed by the
fake.
recently deceased. They came back to life and killed 2 of our classmates!
No! So, ritual did work?
That's the one I want to shoot.
that.
Who was resurrected?
Let's just let it play through. Because I
Angie
wanted...
did say she was gonna bring Rantaro back.
Yes. Rantaro was resurrected. The culprit is the late Rantaro Amami!
Please, stop it!
This isn't about believing and reviving the dead. I have to focus on their statements. Were all those statements correct?
This crime was committed by the recently deceased. They came back to life and killed 2 of our classmates!
No! So,
He's just freaking...
That's wrong!
I don't think Angie's ritual succeeded. According to the Necronomicon Monokuma showed us, you have to burn the Necronomicon in the ritual.
After repairing the effigy, burn this Necronomicon to ashes. Use caution. Be mindful of carbon monoxide poisoning. Sprinkle the ashes on the effigy and repeat the name of the deceased 3 times.
If Angie's ritual had succeeded, the book would have been gone.
So she must have been killed before the ritual was complete, since the book was still intact.
Then, going to think Rantaro probably not culprit.
Oh, I guess you're right.
Well, duh. There's no way a dead person could resurrect.
second! I can't let that comment stand! Sure,
You're a
everybody
robot.
knows that you can't bring the dead back to life. But it's easy at the Ultimate Academy, as long as you use the Necronomicon.
What are you talking about? There's no way that's possible.
But it's true. I never lie about motives.
Daddy said so he can't be wrong. Raising the dead is totally possible.
Man, I can't believe you guys wasted such a perfectly good motive. You should have let me use it to bring Monodum back to life.
Monodum is still alive, though.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't waste a resurrection on Monodum's corpse.
Oh? So resurrecting the dead was
That's menacing.
actually possible this whole time?
Oh my god, shut up,
There's
Spookie.
no way it's possible.
There's no way that could happen, idiots. Monokuma is trying to confuse us. Let's hurry up and find out who the Blackened is.
She's just
Wait,
surrounded
wait a
on both
second.
sides by signs. She's over there by herself.
Wait, Angie has an interesting...
Yeah, it does
Portrait.
look interesting. I can't
There's
see
no
it.
X on it.
If our transfer student isn't
Yeah,
the
it's
culprit,
like a signed
then
autograph or
blame
something.
falls to one of us.
Weird.
Who did it?
Step aside, Half Pint. I'll handle this. I don't know about Tenko, but I'm pretty fucking sure Kyo murdered Angie.
What? Why?
Don't play dumb with me, creep show. I already know what happened.
Okay.
I wholeheartedly disagree. But if it was him, I'd like him more.
The culprit used a katana to kill Angie. And it was found in Kyo's research lab. Which makes you, Kyo, automatically suspicious.
But anyone could have taken that katana, you see.
So that rusty katana was the murder weapon. You were the only one who cared about that thing, Kyo.
I did not care about some katana.
Just admit it, you shit-eating worm.
Look at that.
You went to the classroom,
Wow.
broke in, and murdered the fuck out of Angie! Booyah! I'm a fucking genius!
Is Korkio really the culprit? Does that story fit the facts of the case? We should think about it from the beginning.
The culprit used a katana to kill Angie. And it was found...
She said that they broke in,
Yeah.
but it's clearly not broken, so...
found in Kyo's research lab. Which makes you, Kyo, automatically suspicious.
But
anyone could have taken that katana, you see.
Us.
So that rusty katana was the murder weapon. You were the only one who cared about that thing, Kyo.
I did not care about some katana.
Just admit it, you shit-eating worm. You went to the classroom,
That's pretty interesting.
No.
No? Whether Kyo had a key or not, Angie still would have let him into her lab. And from there, he could have pinned her down and murdered her just like that.
Damn it!
Mistake. I need to think it over again.
The culprit
shoot the
used a
wrong thing?
katana to kill Angie.
Did it just not work?
And it was found
No,
in
the
Kyo...
lock picking, maybe that's the evidence.
Yeah, let's use that.
Oh, maybe.
Unless you think of something better. I don't know.
I don't know.
And baby,
Was
I
research
don't know
lab.
stuff.
Which makes you, Kyo, automatic...
What's Spookie's account? Where it is. Probably went past it 10 times. Right at the top.
Yeah.
She would not unlock the door unless someone from the student castle asked her. Does that help, though?
Please suspicious.
But anyone could have taken that katana, you
Well,
see.
didn't you say that she would, like,
So
let
that
him
rusty
in?
katana was the
So I
murder
should
weapon.
shoot that with this instead?
You were the
Yeah.
only one who cared about that thing, Kyo.
Or with the Spookie account?
I
with
did
it?
not care
Yeah,
about
Spookie's
some
account.
katana.
Just admit it, you shit-eating worm. You went to the
The
classroom,
dynamic
broke...
text is so funny.
It's very interesting for sure.
That's wrong!
They put a lot of flair into this.
Yeah.
No, Kyo would not have been able to enter Angie's lab. Isn't that right, Tsumugi?
Yeah. Before Angie locked herself up in her research lab, she said she wasn't going to open up for anyone but student council members.
And Kyo is not a member. She wouldn't have opened the door for him.
Kyo couldn't have killed Angie even if he wanted to.
I had no desire to kill her in the first place.
So whoever killed Angie must have been one of the student council members, yeah?
I was doing a bit to lead you to the right answer. Can't believe you actually got it.
Oh, how clever.
You can just ignore her, Gonta.
The remaining student council members are
Yeah.
Gonta, Kibo, Tsumugi, and Himiko.
Well, it can't be Himiko. She was besties with Angie. I trust their friendship. You guys do too, right?
Yeah, of course.
Can we trust their friendship so readily?
Obviously. Let's believe in them.
That trims our list of suspects down to 3. Gonta, Tsumugi, and Kibo.
Yep.
Well-
The culprit is one of those 3 people.
What?
I will say, it was very suspicious, and I did not mention it before, but the fact that Himiko like switched up, it was like all of a sudden, like really sad that Tenko died was very suspicious. You could chalk it up to the fact that they were both in the cult together, and that part does make sense if you want to use that as an excuse, but I don't buy it.
I see.
Yeah.
You mean one of those 2 people? 'Cause a robot ain't people, Jack!
I will let that remark slide. Anyway, aren't these accusations just a tad
Evo
too
gets
hasty?
no respect.
He never does. Poor robot.
What ifs? The culprit should confess already. Gonta, Keyboy, or Tsumugi? Well,
No, not Gonta. Gonta would never kill Angie.
Yeah, Gonta's a gentleman. You shouldn't suspect either of us.
Hey, stick up for me too.
Gonta definitely not hurt anyone. Torture Gonta if you don't believe.
This is gonna be a 3-way conversation, isn't it?
Torture might be a bit
Yep.
too far, but Gonta and I aren't the culprits.
And I'm not the culprit either. Jeez.
Gonta
I'm not the
You're
culprit.
not the culprit.
Sure. Didn't you just love this?
We must
Gonta
consider
is a
other
gentleman.
possibilities. Surely there must be suspects
You
outside
will
the
not
student
betray
council.
student council.
I forgot how to get rid of it. No, just shoot it. Okay.
that's utterly impossible.
For last night.
A dead chick
Not just
can't be the
anyone can open
culprit!
that door.
Why?
Only
Much
student
better
council
than being
members had
out too late
access.
at night.
Look, I don't know who the
I
culprit
didn't know
is,
robots told such boring lies.
but it's definitely not
Is
me.
that a robophobic remark?
Robophobic.
There are several suspicious statements, but one is obviously inconsistent. I didn't hear it because it's very confusing. I'll listen carefully, sort
Yeah.
out the statements in my head, and find the answer.
We must consider other
I was trying to listen to
possibilities.
everyone at once. I think that was the issue.
Surely there must be suspects
Gentlemen,
outside the
not
student
betray
council.
student council.
That's utterly impossible.
For last night.
Oh, I think it's a
A
lockpicking.
dead chick
Not
They
can't
just
said
be
the only person that could get in there would be
be
student
a
council
student
members,
council
but
member.
Kichi could also get in there.
Culprit.
So the lockpicking, right?
Why?
Only student
Yeah.
council members had access.
Yeah, so shoot it at his own thing. Wow. Isn't that something?
He wasn't even one of the people defending himself. He just shoot at his statement instead.
It wasn't just student
Yep.
council members that could have opened that lab door.
What was it you said earlier about Kyo opening the door, Shuichi? Unless you're a student council member, you can't enter Angie's lab, right?
I was referring to Kyo. He couldn't have done it, but you could have. Because I saw you open the classroom lock by picking it.
Kichi pulled out some thin needles and stuck them into the keyhole of the lock. Click, click. Clack. There, open sesame.
Oh, that happened? I totally forgot.
So you're going to pretend you don't remember, huh?
Quit glaring at me like that. Of course I remember. Yeah,
And why did you say you
I
forgot?
did it. I killed Angie.
What?
Wait, what? What did you just say?
I picked the lock to her lab, snuck into the room, and then wham! Killed Angie. The culprit was me, all along.
What?
What are you saying? Is this some kind of joke?
Nah, no joke. I thought that if I confessed, I could atone for my sins. And it helped. I feel so much better. Whew!
Wait, so Kokichi really is culprit?
No, he's lying. I think. Maybe?
He's lying. I'm certain of it.
Yeah,
No,
girl
no,
genius, by the way.
definitely not
Anyway.
a lie. I killed Angie. Shouldn't you guys believe the culprit when they confess?
Then let me ask you, culprit. How did you lock the room?
Huh? Well, it's the same as opening it. You pick the door closed from the outside.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Huh? What doesn't make sense? Can't you lock a door by picking it?
Maybe, but that's not how the culprit locked the room. They used a different method.
What different method?
They locked it
Yeah,
from the inside.
Mumbles. Use your big boy voice and explain yourself.
There were 2 doors to the classroom, and the one locked last was.
One was locked. Last. I mean, one
The
had
front door.
gold and stuff on it.
Oh, yeah, both doors were actually locked, I think.
Well, they were both locked, but which one was locked last?
Oh, the back door, I think?
Had the gold stuff
I don't
on
know.
it.
That's
I don't know. It has a hint regarding that one, and the other one doesn't.
The
So
back door. That's how they made this.
Well, I don't
unlocked
remember
room
everything
mystery.
entirely. It's been a day, so
well, I can look at the hint.
yeah, let's look at it. Refresh ourselves.
Back door. This door has a sliding lock. When Angie's body was found, the sliding lock was locked from the inside. The handle of the sliding lock moves at the slave's touch. Something gold and shiny was on the handle. And that implies it was touched. Because it was locked forever, she just kept it locked, right? But for some reason, it had gold leaf on it, so it must have been unlocked and then relocked at some point.
Yeah. But wasn't that the one that had a sliding lock?
Yep.
Can I look at it again?
Yep, it is.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if you have a closer picture of it. Doesn't look like it.
So how did they relock it? That makes no sense.
Maybe we'll find out.
The back door had a sliding
I
lock.
do remember it being a little
yes.
hard to figure out.
How was it locked from the outside?
Yeah.
The culprit used a certain tool.
The tool that the culprit used to lock the sliding lock from the outside was...
Already jumping into it. Oh my god. Wait, this game? Oh.
Yeah. Need to find the right item. There's a little Monokuma over there.
No?
I don't think Monokuma is the answer. I don't think that thing's what he used to break it either. What is that? Oh, this is the sword. There was a sword in the room. Nothing else of this stuff was in the room. Right?
Yeah. Well, the katana was in the room.
So I'm just gonna pick everything that was in the room.
I don't...
The sheath wasn't, and the other thing was in the other area.
Yeah.
So he used, and that's the thing that had the gold leaf on it anyway.
Katana that was stabbed into Kaede's effigy. The culprit used that to hit the knob of the sliding lock to lock the door.
So the gold leaf was on the sliding lock because...
Because when the katana hit the lock, some of the gold leaf rubbed off on it. The gold leaf on that katana did peel rather easily.
That evidence rings a bell. Specifically, a school bell.
Huh? Are you talking about a different school? What school was it?
Now, that doesn't matter anymore. Let's not dwell on the past.
Ooh, the gold leaf landed on the sliding lock when the katana touched it. So that means the culprit used the katana to move the sliding lock, right? But wait, how did they move it with the katana? And from outside Angie's lab?
The clue that might give us the answer is the layout of the area itself. It was an odd setup after all. The katana stabbed into the effigy. The effigies hung upside down.
Angie didn't do that as part of the ritual?
No. Nowhere in the Necronomicon did it say you had to hang the effigies.
If it was not part of the ritual, then it must have been for a different purpose, right?
Different purpose? What could that have been? I mean, you're the one that's been saying that this is the way it was done, so how do you not know?
Yeah.
Like, they did it with the sword. I don't know how, though. But they did it. The culprit somehow used the setup to lock the room. In that case, I need to know the reason behind every step of that setup. If I do that, the way the culprit locked the room should be clear. Are we gonna drive a car now? Psych taxi start.
That car. Oh my gosh, you knew that. Are you psychic?
It sounded like that was the kind of question that was gonna lead to this.
I see. In something. That's part of a bigger word, so it's not in specifically.
Right. There's something hiding. Oh, I didn't even notice those were over there.
Oh.
It's okay, we'll be fine.
You turn the handle of the sliding lock.
Yeah, what turned the handle of the sliding lock?
Or what, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what do we got for solutions?
Thinking time.
The effigy's hand or the katana's hilt? Well, it had the gold stuff, so it's the hilt.
Yeah. Pick up his friends for girls' night out again.
Yeah.
Featuring Shuichi. Like
Girls' night out featuring Shuichi.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It went from 3 lanes to 2. What was done to make the katana turn the lock? This will be the real question right here.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's easy and like one just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Katana was stabbed into effigy, sliding lock was tampered with. The
Sliding
effigy
lock was tampered with? Yes. And...
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Well, I don't think it was tampered with though. It just looked normal, but then it got hit somehow. But
Yeah,
we
I
know
guess
that
so.
the thing was stabbed into an effigy. So far, this is just stuff we already know. Like, I hope the third one is important.
I'm lucky you're smart. I would have gotten that wrong. Anyway. Was the effigy manipulated to make the katana affect the lock?
How was the effigy
How was?
to make the katana affect the lock? This is the important question. Swinging it back and forth, spinning it, making it fall.
Swinging it back and forth because it probably would have bumped into it and made it like slide.
I know, I killed someone.
Huh?
Well, it didn't fall, so it can't be that one. And swinging it back and forth just made me murder someone, so it's gotta be spinning it, right?
Yeah. It's okay, just someone died.
It's okay. We just committed mild murder.
Mild murder? I'm pretty sure that's just murder.
That's it. The reason the culprit stuck the katana into the effigy was so that it would hit the sliding lock as the effigy spun.
Effigy spun?
That's right. If you spun the effigy, the rope it was hanging from would twist. Then, if you let it go, the rope would unwind and the effigy would spin the other way. And of course, the katana would spin with it.
I see. So the culprit used the katana's counterspin to push the lock into place?
The culprit simply needed to spin the effigy's rope and then swiftly leave. This would cause the spinning katana to hit the sliding lock. And thus was the back door of an empty classroom locked from the inside.
Yes, that's how Angie's lab was locked. By using the effigy with the katana.
A plan born from the heart of a sword traveling through the air to intercept us. Oh, but could it have moved the slide lock so easily?
The sliding lock was pretty loose. A little push could move it. As long as the spinning katana hit the lock, it would have slid into position.
Even if the culprit failed the first couple times, they could keep trying until it locked.
Which is why the culprit chose to strike at nighttime, as to avoid detection.
Yes, since the student council prohibited anyone from walking around at nighttime.
Are you saying it's the student council's fault?
I didn't say that.
In any case, the
I didn't say
culprit
that.
probably used the murder weapon for this trick.
Mm-hmm.
It had to have been the right length to hit the sliding lock from the effigy.
The culprit couldn't find a blade long enough in my lab, so they settled for the katana.
The other effigies were only hung up so we'd think it was some kind of ceremony.
But wait a
That
second.
way, we wouldn't notice the lock trick.
I mean, it would make more sense if they killed them with a sickle and just used the katana. But why would their blood be on the katana then?
Well, the sickle was in the other room.
Yeah. Well, it was, but it could have been like
I mean, yeah, you
taken
could
from
Angie
that
with
point
it and then
and
thrown
then-
into the other one. That is
Yeah.
true. But then we have no idea what killed Penko yet, so I don't know.
Also the sickle, perhaps.
Kokichi did say earlier that he
I
could
don't
have picked the lock closed.
They could have just used the katana to throw us off.
I don't want to completely ignore that possibility. But I can't imagine the culprit would have done all this just for a distraction.
If that's the case, then Kokichi's confession earlier was actually...
Seriously? You fucking lied again?
Cough it up, Kokichi!
Oh, man. You guys got me. Okay, I'm not the culprit.
You're telling the truth this time, right?
I want to say I'm lying, but I'm not.
Why did you say you were the culprit?
I wanted to lure the culprit out. If I claimed to be the culprit, then the real culprit would agree as well. You get me? And if they pressured me to confess, then that would have looked mighty suspicious. Sheesh. Darn it. It didn't go my way because Shuichi butted in on my plan.
You and your fucking lies! Go sit in the corner and play with yourself!
Okay, I'll start right now.
No.
All right.
Stop.
So, who's the asshole who set up this locked room mystery?
Mew, stop egging people to do random shit like this. Especially not him. He'd
Mew,
definitely do that.
I can't hold it up anymore.
What's the matter?
God.
You going soft on me now?
I'm going to
made the
commit
locked
bodily
room
harm
mystery
now.
doesn't matter since anyone could have done it.
Wait, what'd you say about her?
I just said I'm going to commit bodily harm now.
Oh, I see.
It was a
Don't
joke.
you even understand something as basic as that, you filthy cum dumpster?
What the fuck? You're just as bad as her. Oh,
Cum
God.
dumpster! Finally! Someone finally called me a cum dumpster!
What the
What should we talk about now?
We must focus not on the locked room, but on who entered Angie's lab. Only one of the student council members or Kokichi could have gained entry. Therefore, the culprit must be among their number.
That leaves us with 4 suspects. Tsumugi, Gonta, Kibo, and Kokichi.
Well, she was in her lab doing arts. What if they just, like, waited until she was coming out and then killed her and just went back into the room? So then it could have been anyone.
Fair enough.
Just saying.
Don't forget Himiko. She's also a part of the student council. Doesn't matter if she was besties with Angie, she's still a suspect.
That contradicts what you said earlier, which I can prove using my recording function.
It's fine. That's just a waste of time.
Me? A suspect? I never kill Angie!
So, calling all suspects, what should we discuss next? I want to hear everyone's opinion. What would you say to get yourself off the suspect list?
Why are you trying to lead the debate? You're a suspect too.
Silence, outsider! Only the suspect rangers are allowed to speak.
Suspect rangers?
I agree. Those under suspicion should explain themselves thoroughly.
We might catch them with their pants down!
Anyway, I want to ask the suspect rangers. What should we talk about? What should we say to get ourselves off the suspect list? Well, guys, I want to hear what you think.
That's sort of a difficult question, you know?
Gonta not smart enough to know answer to that.
Yes, it is difficult to formulate a logical response to that question.
Not articulate with words, huh? Don't you guys want to prove your innocence?
They don't trust you one bit, and I don't blame them. You're probably plotting.
Why did Tenko have to die?
Huh?
I want to know what happened to Angie too, but... Can we talk about Tenko's case now and not just Angie?
I got you exactly where I wanted, Himiko.
What do you mean?
The 2 victims could have been killed by 2 separate murderers, you know. So we need to find the first Blackened responsible for the first victim. We gotta figure out who killed Angie. Until we solve Angie's case, Tenko's case is meaningless. Did you suggest that to waste our time?
It's not meaningless!
Oh my
Tenko's
God.
death is meaningless! How dare you! Poor Tenko! How could you do this to her? Himiko.
She is
Himiko, stop it with your crappy
mad.
lies.
Lies?
Everything you said is total BS. You didn't give 2 shits about Tenko when she was alive. But now you're
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
oh no, poor Tenko, after she's dead. Come on, really?
Kokichi, enough!
No. It's okay. It's no surprise he'd think that. I know I ignored Tenko before. That's why I'm so upset now. I should have faced Tenko. Worked things out with her while she was still alive. But now, it's too late. I can't complain to her or thank her. It's too late.
Yeah, seriously. It's way too late to realize that now. Our only option is to face her death head on.
Face her death?
Himiko, I understand what you're going through. So I'm gonna help you out. Let's work together to find the truth. I'm not gonna let anyone say her death didn't matter.
Kaito. All right. I'll put a silencing curse on whoever calls Tenko's death meaningless. The name of the curse is Death Curse.
I suppose being dead would silence someone pretty good.
Listen up! All you guys are gonna help out too. Abandoning someone who died and only thinking about your own survival. That's just as bad as a hit and run! I won't forgive something so messed up!
And then Shuichi's like, oh no, gone to my hit and run.
Tenko was our friend. Gonta wanna know why she died too!
I already told you that's so unnecessary. We're getting sidetracked here.
No, even if it was a different culprit, we need to know how Tenko died. If we don't find out who killed her, we won't be able to work together. Not now, not ever. Even if this trial isn't for her, in order for us to survive, we need to get to the bottom of Tenko's death. Not just to survive this trial, but so we can keep going and live on!
Rito.
Finally, you noticed. Jeez, you're so slow.
Huh? Did Kokichi want us to notice?
Don't listen to his crap. We haven't decided whether there were two different culprits yet.
Let us talk about Tenko's case then. Perhaps that will provide us a clue.
Yeah, maybe.
You're not wrong, but I don't mind going over Tenko's case. Well, that was an abrupt change of topic. Was that intentional?
So what do we talk about first?
For now, let's see if we can narrow down the list of suspects.
Tancrotch probably got killed during the seance, so everyone there's suspicious.
Tancrotch.
The people who attended the seance. People who attended the seance were... Oh my goodness.
Kyo, Shuichi, Himiko, and Kokichi.
The top one?
Or Kiba, I mean.
No, Kiba, we kicked him out at the last second.
Oh, that's right. So, yeah.
Was that the top one?
That's it!
I was about to say, what the fuck? I was just reading what I saw.
Kyo, Himiko, and Kokichi.
So those four are the culprits!
Oh, Himiko's still culprit?
I have no brain cells.
Well, that's probably just a coinkydink.
Handed them
The
all
most
to you.
suspicious out of the four is really Kyo. He suggested the whole seance idea.
True, I may have suggested it, but I explained the procedure beforehand, yes? If we all knew of it before the murder, then we are all equally suspicious.
Well, I suppose, but...
In addition, the seance wasn't entirely in my control either. I was not the one who selected the room we performed it in. It was Himiko.
However, there are 3 empty rooms. Which one shall we use? The middle room. The middle room is always best for stuff like this. Yeah, that's hella suspicious. Very well. I shall begin the preparations at once.
I mean, I would have picked the middle room too. That's just me.
Oh. Right.
Fair enough. I probably would have too.
Also, we should not limit our suspects to only those who participated in the seance. The empty room had a point of entry from outside, you see.
Point of entry from outside. He must be referring to...
The hole, yeah.
Is there a hole there?
There!
It's hard to see what I'm clicking on in there.
You're talking about under the floor, right?
Huh? Under the floor?
Yes, there's a crawl space under the floor a person could move through. There was also a hole that connected it to the neighboring room.
If the culprit used the hole, they could have entered and exited the seance room.
If we consider that possibility, then there is another suspect.
Another suspect? Who?
It's appearing before me. Oh, I can see it clearly. The true identity of Tenko's killer.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Let's see what he say.
The culprit sneaked in during the seance by crawling under the floor.
But it was pitch black during the seance. How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You
Yes,
see,
it was.
our villain had a light.
Light? You mean
Yeah,
candle?
I mean, Kibo's flashlight function.
Huh? Now hold on a second.
Well, he was
Kibo could
gone.
have used that function to get under the floor and sneak into the empty
Could've.
room during the seance.
I said hold on a second.
He used his robot functions to commit the murders.
Hold on a second.
True that with a little light, you can move around under the floor. Is that possible?
The culprit sneaked in during the seance.
Does his flashlight function tell us anything about it? Emit blinding light from his eyes.
By crawling under the floor.
Well, if it was a blinding light, we would have been able to see it through the floorboards, would we not?
Maybe. It was not loose before the seance. Maybe
How
that's
could
the
they
answer.
even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't
Let's try
Golden
that then.
corner. Let's try
dark under the
loose.
floor. You see, our
No, it's not the answer.
With the room as dark as it was, one would need a light, no? Are you denying my entire theory? Either way, your evidence is lacking.
I was wrong!
I made a mistake. I need to think it over again.
the culprit sneaked in during the seance by crawling under the floor.
But it was pitch black during the seance. How could they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a light.
Light? You mean candle?
I mean, Kibo's flashlight function.
Huh? Now hold on a second.
Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor and sneak into the empty room during the seance.
I said hold on a second.
He used his robot functions to commit the murders.
Hold on a second.
The light can move around under the floor. But is that possible? Let's see what else I've caged. Does this tell us anything? 5 people and a dark experience first. Start moving.
Finally turn off all the lights to make it completely dark. That's the only thing I can think to make it like part of this, but I don't think that's it.
Yeah, because like if it was a robot just deciding to murder people, I don't think he would care what the rules for the seance were.
Yeah.
A function that Mio added to Kibo. He can emit blinding light from his eyes. I don't think that helps us. Again, unless we can shoot it at something else. Is that possible?
The culprit sneaked in during the seance.
Marker stone. I don't see how that could be useful at all.
By crawling.
Right bullet on the bottom part. I don't know how that.
Under the floor.
Maybe the hole in the corner is what I shoot at. Because if there was light under there, the light would go over there and we'd see it, right? Because it was pitch black. So maybe that's the one I shoot at?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's try it.
But it was pitch black during the seance. I can't even see it.
Because it wasn't dark. You see,
Yeah.
That's wrong!
I just had the wrong loose floorboard, that's all.
I don't think the
Yeah.
culprit could have used a light while under the floor. There was a hole in the corner of the room. If a light were used, it would have leaked through and we would have seen it.
You know, one thing I don't like about this
But
is that
when we did the seance, the room was definitely pitch black.
the way they like lay out things is that they make it confusing so that you have to press on something you don't think it is, but it ends up being what you think it was in like kind of roundabout way.
Like if you were there in
It's really
person, you
dumb.
could just tell them what you mean, and then yeah.
Yeah, it would be a lot easier.
But yeah.
So a light was not shined under the floor, which means you cannot claim I am the culprit.
Geez, here I thought this would be the case where the murder could only be done by a robot.
You have accused me of being the culprit more than once now, simply because I am a robot. My status as a robot does not mean I am capable of performing superhuman feats. My vision is somewhat poor, and I only possess average physical strength and intelligence.
All right, you made your point. God, now I feel sort of bad for you.
I neither want nor need your pity.
Wow.
Enough with the flashlight! It's way too bright!
It would have been difficult to move around under the floor in that pitch black
Blind him.
darkness. Maybe the floor and the hole have nothing to do with this case.
Then why was floorboard under Tenko lined up funny? Going to think that was so culprit could stab Tenko from under floor.
Ooh, nice observation, Gonta. Are you finally getting used to the class trials?
Uh-huh. Thank you.
Don't say it like that. You're better off not being used to this kind of stuff.
Maybe they marked Tenko with glowing paint and looked for that.
No, that was Danganronpa too.
Yeah.
That'd let the culprit find her. Then they could stab her through the floorboards.
No, that was Danganronpa too.
Boy, that sounds really familiar too.
Oh my god.
But I'm just gonna ignore it.
But wait a
Corpse
second.
didn't have any trace of glowing paint, though.
I mean, I know it's just probably a red herring, but how would Monokuma know about that? Assuming Monica is the mastermind, I mean.
That's a good point.
It's Lucky Toe.
Oh, yeah. So then why was that floorboard loose?
The loose floorboard was the one under Tenko, right? If the culprit used it while she was still alive, she'd totally notice.
Who fucking cares? Fussing over that won't get us closer to the culprit!
We shouldn't dismiss this line of inquiry, however. Instead of butting our heads against this, how about we concentrate on another issue?
What other issue?
Perhaps first, we should figure out how and when exactly Tenko was killed.
When? So not during seance?
Tenko was in the metal cage for the whole seance, wasn't she? How could someone have gotten to her there?
Maybe the culprit killed her before she went under the metal cage.
That's not possible. She was alive at that point.
This is the point of no return, Tenko. After this point, you mustn't speak. The next time you open your mouth, it will be Angie speaking through you.
Understood. I will not say a word until the seance is over.
I've only read that 3 times.
She was unmistakably alive when the seance began.
That was right before we blew out the candles. But when the light came back...
The floorboard was removed at that point, so it's likely she was already dead then.
So she was killed when the room was dark?
But she was inside cage, right? Going to think it impossible to kill her then.
Then she wasn't killed when the room was dark. It was a different time.
A different time?
How the fuck should I know? You figure it out, shitheads.
Huh?
Since Gonta said it was impossible, I'm proposing an alternate theory. Now hurry up and think! If you want to make my golden brain tingle, start circle jerking your limp dick brains!
Okie dokie.
When Tenko got killed, it wasn't during the seance.
It could not have been done at any other time. She was under the cage the whole time. And she was dead when the cage was lifted.
The white sheet supports that.
What about moment cage was lifted?
No.
Like that.
When cage lifted, culprit stabbed Tenko real
Why
fast.
do you have to be like
So
this?
fast, no one saw.
That's so weird. Oh my god.
So who lifted the cage?
It was me.
Then obviously Himiko is the culprit.
There's no doubt.
Tenko not being killed during the seance? That might not be impossible, but there's no evidence for it.
When Tenko got killed,
Yeah, we'll use the white sheet because it clearly shows below, right?
Yeah.
it wasn't
That's what
during
I use.
It could not have been done at any other time. She was under the cage the whole time.
Well, let's disagree. We don't should. We agree with that one.
What about moment cage was lifted?
No.
That's wrong.
That's wrong. You stupid head.
No, it wasn't possible to kill her the moment the cage was
I mean,
lifted.
he is pretty stupid.
Because the inside of the white cloth had Tenko's blood on it. That cloth was removed before the cage was lifted. If Tenko was stabbed then, there wouldn't be blood on the cloth.
What? But how could my golden brain be wrong when it felt so right?
The only possibility is that Tenko was killed during the seance.
I got your remodel right here!
What? Why are you fighting it so hard?
No, it's still wrong to think that Tenko was killed during the seance.
Wait a second.
What?
Didn't Tenko say that Kyo was the culprit and that she was killed during the seance?
Who said what?
Mew. Mew said that Tenko was killed during the seance and that was Kyo because he planned this.
Yeah, that's what she said earlier.
Yeah.
Keep saying
That's
different
what I'm
things.
Because she's full of shit.
I'm gonna prove it right now. My golden brain is gonna go all out!
Okay, let's cut down her words.
Tenko died after the seance. It happened when the sheet was lifted. That was the moment the culprit chose to stab the fuck out of Tenko through the cage! They stuck the thin blade through the gap, and that clean white sheet got stained blood red!
But the weapon was a sickle. Only the blade could have fit through the gaps.
The blade's all you need. If you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko. Sitting in there with her neck all exposed.
She wasn't sitting.
She wasn't that far from the cage's gaps.
Yeah.
In which case, the person
I'm just trying to see which
She had her head on the marker
died in
sim.
my crouch position.
Yeah.
who lifted the sheet is the culprit, and that's none other than Kyo!
She is saying it's Kyo. There has to be a hole in Mew's logic somewhere. All I have to do is show the evidence that will counter Mew's claim.
The blade's all you need!
So wait, marker stone is an option. Does it actually specifically say? Should I do marker stone or their final moments? They both say she was crouched.
I really feel like it could be either one. Wait, maybe it's both. I don't know.
So which one should I use?
I guess use the last moments.
Okay.
you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko.
So it's my responsibility to
sitting in there
fuck
with
up.
her neck all exposed.
Wrong one. Okay.
Oh. Huh? She's probably sitting down normally while she was in the cage. If you got a problem with that, then come up with a better explanation, bucko.
Damn it!
I made a mistake. I need to think it over again.
The blade's all you need. If you stick the blade through a gap in the cage, it'd be long enough to reach Tenko, sitting in there with her neck all exposed.
There we go.
I'll cut through your words. Wait just a minute. Tenko wasn't sitting down inside the cage. She was bent over with her forehead against the marker stone. And the cage itself was about 3 feet tall. The sickle's blade was too short to reach Tenko while she was in that position.
Then I messed up again? How could this happen? I am so embarrassed.
No worries, Mew. Everyone already knows you're an embarrassment to the human race.
Yeah, no worries.
That's horrible, Kokichi.
Embarrassing!
If Shuichi is right, then it's impossible for Tenko to have been killed through the cage.
She couldn't have been killed during the seance since she was in the cage, right?
If she was killed then, the cloth over the cage would have been pierced.
Not during the seance or from below the floor. Then it's impossible, isn't it?
Yeah, for a living person.
Huh?
What if Angie's spirit killed Tenko?
What are you talking about? That's not possible!
We don't know that. Some things are impossible for a human, but not for a spirit.
Don't say stupid stuff like that! Screw spirits!
Stop that now.
Angie's spirit killed Tenko? Why?
Himiko?
Why would Angie's spirit kill Tenko?
What if Tenko killed Angie, and then Angie's spirit came back for revenge?
Like I said, that's impossible! Spirits can't be culprits!
Then explain how the culprit killed Tenko under these impossible circumstances.
Well,
See? You can't explain, can you? Only a spirit could have done that!
Wait! I know! What if the culprit was hiding inside the cage? If they were in there, they could have stabbed Tenko during the seance!
No, if there was someone else in the cage, we would have noticed.
I agree with Kaito. The culprit could have been inside the cage.
What?
Excuse me.
What do you mean?
You do?
Nonsense. There was no space in the cage for the culprit to hide.
Maybe the culprit wouldn't need to hide in the first place.
What?
Also, the culprit could have killed her in the cage at any time. I think you know what I'm getting at, right?
It was supernatural? Is that what you're saying?
The they she's referring to.
Wait, what?
Who could have killed Tenko from inside the cage? Should I just...
Yeah, I mean, I guess Angie, and I don't know. Like, it could have been anyone, but...
Do you mean Angie's ghost? You stop thinking about such stupid things. That's right, spirits can't be culprits. That's not how it works.
I was wrong!
Everyone's staring at me. I screwed up. They think I'm a fraud. Okay, who could kill while in cage? Oh, herself?
I mean, I guess so. Why would she do that, though?
I don't know.
She did kind of, like, say something weird to Himiko before she's... Yeah, okay. All
Let's
right.
see what
well,
happens.
I believe Maki is referring to Tenko herself.
What did you say?
Are you saying Tenko is the culprit?
She committed suicide.
Suicide?
If she committed suicide, it would explain a lot of things we couldn't figure out. She volunteered to be in the cage, and then stabbed herself during the seance. It wouldn't matter how dark the room was.
But the sickle she was stabbed with was under the floor, right? If Tenko had stabbed herself, wouldn't the sickle still be inside the cage?
Oh my god. Mew actually said something smart.
Perhaps that explains why the floorboard was removed. After stabbing herself with the sickle, she threw it underneath the floor.
So she took off the floorboard to get rid of the sickle?
Well, no, because that wouldn't make any sense at all.
That makes sense to Gonta.
If that were the case, how would she throw it that far and that accurately from that angle? While she was bleeding out from her neck.
Yeah, I don't buy it, but
sense.
whatever.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't make sense to me.
You know she could have,
No
like, brain
reason
dead
for
in, like,
Tenko to commit suicide.
a few seconds
Maybe I wasn't too
from
far
that.
off with the theory I had earlier. You know,
Losing
about
blood
Tenko
flow is
killing
serious.
Angie.
Say it again.
I said losing blood flow is serious, especially
Yes,
like,
very
to your brain.
serious. Especially neck and above.
Yeah.
You need blood there.
Yeah?
Because Tenko and Angie were fighting for your attention, right?
Hey, Angie, when did you brainwash Himiko?
Tenko's pent-up frustration led her to commit such an atrocity. Her conscience couldn't handle it anymore, so she decided to end her own life.
What?
But if she was gonna kill herself, why do it during the seance?
She wanted to hide the truth of her suicide.
Really? Why?
There could only be one reason to hide it in a killing game, right? It's to take us down with her.
No, that would not be the case. Because if she felt remorse for killing her...
She wouldn't go, I guess I'll kill everybody now.
Yeah, she cares about
I
Himiko
feel
too
bad
much
about
to do
killing that one person. I'm gonna kill everyone now. Including Himiko.
Why feel remorse in the first place?
She wanted
Whatever.
us to pick the wrong answer during the class trial.
She's not Nagito. She didn't mastermind this. I don't buy it.
Right.
So she could bring us all down. She wanted us to die with her. Okay, well, she probably just wanted Himiko to die with her, but still.
But what are you saying? Tenko wasn't like that. She told me.
Keep your chin up and live life facing forward. Survive with me and everyone else.
What if all of that was just a lie?
A lie?
Wait, we should believe Tenko's last words.
The true terror of class trials is that you shouldn't believe everything said.
Himiko, you said that Tenko would never do anything like that. But how can you be so sure? Did you guys actually know each other? People keep all sorts of secrets. Like Maki. She hid the fact that she's a cold-blooded killer. Is it wise of us to trust other people wholeheartedly in this kind of situation?
Jeez, you're such a naive dude.
Naive?
We're all just people, you know? Of course we're gonna have some secrets. What matters is whether there's any malice behind them.
People can lie about how malicious their hidden secrets really are.
Well, duh. It's impossible to know for sure what others are thinking. That's why it all comes down to whether or not you believe in yourself. If you get betrayed, it's not their fault. It's your fault for believing in them. That's why I believed in Maki Roll, because I wanted to believe in her.
She's going to
Because you're
kill you
acting all
now.
cool doesn't mean you get to skip training.
Hey, come on. Don't you think you're being a little too strict?
Well, we come from different backgrounds. So for now, let's agree to disagree. No one's ever called me naive before. And from Kaito? Seriously?
Deserved.
Whether or not I believe, my heart can't reach Tenko anymore. But I want to believe in her. She wouldn't commit suicide. She wouldn't try to take us down. That's what I want to believe.
Me too. Gonta, no can believe Tenko commits suicide.
But if Tenko did commit suicide, that would answer all of our questions.
If you insist we believe in Tenko, then provide a reason to do so.
Proper reason.
All right, I'll give you a reason.
Is there a reason?
Yes, there is. Will you trust me, Maki? If it turns out I'm wrong, you can blame me all you like. But for now, I need you to trust in my detective work.
I believe Tenko would Radical 6 because of what she said. Okay, everyone, I'll see you guys after the seance. She's like, yep, those words I knew were real.
Yeah.
She said, see you guys after. I doubt she had a sudden change of heart. Well, I mean, if she was lying once, whatever. Just because we don't know how she was killed doesn't mean that it was Radical 6. Don't fall back on Radical 6 so quickly. We shouldn't be satisfied with that, and if we keep thinking, we'll find the truth. And that means we have to believe in Tenko. I'll make them all believe.
So far, suicide seems to be the best explanation.
Her plan was to take us down with her. So she hid her true intentions.
Tenko's not that kind of person! But if Tenko did commit suicide, it would explain how she died during the seance.
She could have secretly brought the sickle and then stabbed herself with it.
Finally, with the last of her strength, she threw the sickle underneath the floor.
Absolutely not. No, it doesn't.
And thinks that Tenko Radical 6'd, but only because they're latching on to the easiest answer. To get out of this, I need to make them think their Radical 6 theory won't work when it works.
Suicide seems to be the
How
best
is this the
explanation.
easiest answer?
Her plan was to take us down.
I mean, can you pause it for a second?
Yeah.
How in the world do people think this is the easiest answer? From that angle, bleeding out from your neck, that mind you would only take, like, at most a minute for you to just die from. You would lose all brain function. How would she be able to throw a sickle from
Just
that
say,
angle? and
but
land it
probably
exactly
not enough to
right?
kill her immediately. And,
Yeah, not immediately. Obviously
but if
not.
we just lie and say it was instant?
I don't know.
That's all I can think of.
Maybe.
What other shots do
Down
we
with
have?
her. So she
Just go
hid
with
her
your
true
guts, I
intentions.
guess.
Tenko's not that kind of person! But if Tenko did commit suicide,
That's why Amy thinks so tiny.
it would explain how she died during the seance.
Because it's always like that. It gets big when you go over
She
stuff.
could have secretly brought the sickle and then stabbed herself with it.
Finally, with the last of her...
I'll reveal the truth.
Perjury.
While saying
Tenko
I'll
couldn't
reveal
have
the
thrown the
truth.
sickle under the floor
It's
because she
funny.
died instantly.
Instantly?
Death might not have been instant, but she could have gone. She couldn't have gone far before she bled out. But nah, it was
I'm certain
instant.
of it. My investigation determined that she died instantly.
What's your opinion, Maki? I'd like to hear from someone who specializes in murder.
Maki.
You're right. I completely forgot about that important detail. Tenko died instantly.
What?
As an assassin, I specialize in killing my targets swiftly. I have no doubt that Tenko was killed immediately.
Words of a true killer. Pretty sure we can believe everything she said.
Thank you, Maki.
How could you forget that, Maki Roll? You better apologize to Shuichi.
Excuse me?
It's okay, Kaito, really. No apology necessary. Anyway, Tenko died so suddenly that she couldn't have gotten rid of the sickle. Knowing that, the theory that she killed herself just doesn't fit, correct?
Just like I thought. Tenko wouldn't commit suicide.
Thank goodness, Himiko.
Which means someone definitely killed Tenko during the seance.
Her suicide was considered because we could not determine how she was killed.
No! There must have been a way! We're gonna figure it out!
Did any of the participants witness anything peculiar during the seance? If you know something, please speak up. It could be the key to solving this mystery.
Not a bad idea. We should remember what happened at the seance. Let me try to remember. I'm sure there's something. I need some kind of clue that will help me solve this mystery. Talking about the loud noise.
Yeah. It's
loud noise that was like, oh, that was weird. Just ignored.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary during the seance?
There is something that bothers me.
Yeah, sound during scene.
That the
Change
seance failed. The ritual was perfect, and yet it failed. How utterly strange.
Maya.
Now that I think about it.
What'd you say?
I was asking you to change it to the
sound during seance, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I did it now.
While we were all singing the song, I heard something fall.
Oh, I missed.
I'm more concerned about how dark it got in there.
We're fucked now.
I mean, it was totally pitch black.
It's okay, we got hearts in time.
My job was to relight the candles. Moving along the walls was seriously tough.
It's pitch black during the seance. That limits what could have happened. Just stay calm. Think. There must be some kind of clue.
Did anything
seem out of the ordinary during the seance? There is something that bothers me. The fact that the seance failed. The ritual was perfect, and
yet it failed.
How utterly
strange.
Now that I think about it, we were all singing the song. I heard something fall.
I agree.
Sent.
Himiko, you think that something fell because of that sound you heard, right?
Yeah, here we go again. We're not gonna do the rest of the sound, just that one part.
Something heavy fell down and hit the floor really hard. What could have fallen down?
Fallen down? There wasn't anything on the ceiling that could have fallen down, right?
Am I wrong? I thought something fell, but...
The sound was pretty loud. It did seem like something hit the floorboards.
A loud sound, like something hit the floorboards. Maybe that sound had something to do with the other thing that happened in the dark. Sound has something else to do with what happened in the dark. The loose floorboard?
Yeah.
I'm going with that.
This is it! I think the floorboard coming off had something to do with that sound. That floorboard came loose at some point during the seance, right?
Would the floorboard have made such a loud sound, though?
It was the sound of an intense impact.
If the impact was that intense, then it could have loosened the floorboard.
That is true. There would have had to be a strong impact to make that sound. But what was it? What could it possibly be?
All right then, let's go with that. We all gotta put our heads together now. So what made the floorboard come loose?
Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Someone who participated in the seance. Maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
That wouldn't make such a loud crashing sound.
Maybe the wooden statue fell over.
But that statue was still on top of the cage.
Culprit hide under floor. then stood up with such might.
But we already said there was no one under the floor.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
A floorboard that comes loose when you step on it is dangerous. God, it's like I'm the only one here who's staying on the ball.
You hardly have any experience with balls to say that, Mew.
Don't be stupid. Don't you know me and balls are the best of friends?
Like that was the one you could agree to.
Yeah. Anyway.
What would have made a strong enough impact to knock the floorboard loose? Think about everyone's testimony and combine it with the facts.
So what made the floorboard come loose?
Judging from the sound, there must have been considerable force.
Well, the crosspiece under the floor is missing, which means it would, if you like stepped on part of it, it would like go wild, right?
Eons, maybe that person tore off the floorboard.
That would.
So you got any ideas?
In this particular instance... Okay, what are our options again?
The crosspiece, the sound, magic circle, the sickle under the floor, and dried blood under the floor.
Red blood under the floor, probably.
But that
was it dried blood?
Statue was still on.
Pinch the sickle too.
Smelling blood that was on the ground under the floor of the room the seance was held in. It's quite far from where Tenko's blood was dripping. And what do we shoot that at, though?
Top of the cage.
Culprit hide under floor. Then stood up with such might.
Stood up.
But we already said there was no one under the floor.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
Stomped through floorboard is one option.
A floorboard that comes loose when you step on it is dangerous. God, it's like I'm the only one here who's staying on the ball.
You hardly have any experience with balls to say that, Mew.
Sweet, it's either stomp or balls.
So what made?
Yeah, so let's try stomp the floorboard.
And what with what evidence?
The crosspiece, probably.
Crosspiece under the floor.
The floorboard.
Yeah, because it was cut. I mean, I guess you could like technically step through it.
Considerable force.
So maybe someone like got caught in that and bled.
Tore off the floorboard.
There's also tore off the floor.
Not women.
Statue fell.
Yeah.
But
the
statue
stomp
was still
would make more sense.
Culprit hide under floor.
They stood up with such might.
Someone must have stomped through the floorboard.
It's voice and deep. It's funny. I missed it.
A floorboard that comes loose when you step
I
on
hit
it
it.
is
Anyway.
dangerous.
Wait. Oh, the game broke.
I was spitting, so I shot at it, and I still won.
Kokichi is right. The floorboard came loose because someone stomped on it.
The floorboards fit perfect. Going to make sure first time we go to empty room.
When we first saw the room, yes. But when I looked again during the investigation, one of the crosspieces supporting the floorboards was cut off. After examining the cut, I concluded that it must have been done deliberately.
Someone? You mean the culprit, right? Why'd they do that?
What did the culprit stand to gain by cutting the crosspiece?
Did they stand to gain? That's the question. To solve this case, I'll need to think carefully about the crosspiece and floorboard. Tenko's body was at one end of the loose floorboard. The crosspiece that had been cut was on the other end of the floor. Okay. The unsupported part was outside the cage, so it could have been stomped on. Only one of the cross pieces was cut. The other two were intact. One of them was right under Tenko. The other was in the center, right about where the edge of the cage was. What was the culprit attempting to achieve by stomping on the floorboard? Think, come on, think! Hangman's Gambit. Okay, that's a big word.
Oh my god.
Board. S. Okay. I'll just click it because I remember being stuck at this one a lot.
Yeah, this one seems a little...
Seesaw. I don't remember what the second word is, though. Effect. Oh, that wasn't an E. This is the E. That's also not what I want, actually. Never mind. I'm not good at noticing.
You're really good at the salmon game, though.
Yeah.
And not the... Yeah, what's salmon? Okay.
The mighty salmon game.
That's right. The floorboard might have been used as a seesaw.
Huh? A seesaw?
The crosspiece at one end of the floorboard had been cut off. The other two crosspieces holding up that board were close to the cage. Meaning, if you were to apply force to the end of the floorboard with no crosspiece, the next crosspiece would act as a fulcrum to turn the floorboard into a lever. A lever capable of lifting up Tenko's entire body.
Her whole body lifted up?
Yeah,
Wait a
that
second.
sounds like a seesaw, all right. But why bother lifting Tenko's body?
I have an idea.
Yeah.
So if that were the case, and it was a metal cage, there was blood on the like, blanket that was over top the cage and everything, and blood spatter from that, they would have to be, like, somewhat close then. So maybe, like, there was a loose, like, piece of metal in the cage that cut into her neck. And maybe the sickle was thrown down there to throw us off because that was used in... Yeah. God, this is so confusing. Because even the katana has blood on it. I'm so lost.
They couldn't have killed Tenko like that. Unless they used the sickle.
That's exactly it. Using the seesaw trick, it was possible to kill Tenko with a sickle.
Huh? How?
In order for the culprit to kill Tenko with a seesaw trick, the placement of the sickle is the most important factor.
Floorboard seesaw, the cage, and the blood on the white fabric. What conclusions can I draw from this? There's only one place the sickle could have been that is consistent with the evidence. Where was the sickle when Tenko was killed? Well, her head went up, right? So it'd be on the top of the
Yeah,
cage.
so the top of the cage. Yeah.
That's it!
Alright, wasn't it a natural...
The sickle was at the top of the iron cage, with the blade
It's a very
facing
convenient mishap, whatever.
The reason we didn't see it was because of the fabric covering the cage. Also, the wooden statue kept the blade in place. It's true that the sickle's handle was thick, which made the statue wobble, but the statue's weight kept it from falling over. Once everything was in place, if you stepped hard enough on the seesaw, Tenko's body would have shot upward and hit the blade on the top of the cage. She was bent over, meaning the sickle's blade would have connected with her neck.
The 6-inch sickle blade wasn't long enough to stab Tenko in her crouched position. But with the floorboard acting as a seesaw, it could compensate for the blade's length.
Bringing the victim to the sickle rather than bringing the sickle to the victim. That's definitely an unorthodox idea.
It's crazy, but it would explain how Tenko got stabbed while she was in the cage.
So the sound we heard was the culprit stomping on the floorboard.
That impact make floorboard come loose.
Looks like we got ourselves a good old-fashioned seesaw homicide. Wait, what the hell's a seesaw homicide? That's fucking crazy!
The craziness is what really makes the killing game fun, you know? They can't get away with murder the normal way, so they gotta think outside the box. Kudos, culprit! You did a great job keeping me entertained.
Indeed. Well played, Himiko.
Yeah?
It was you, wasn't it? The one behind the seesaw homicide.
Why her?
Because she's the only one capable of carrying out this plan.
The only one? Why's that?
Because this seesaw homicide required its location to be prepared beforehand.
By cutting the crosspiece beneath the floorboard, you mean?
Then the culprit would need to lure their victim into the prepared room. That is why you chose that room for the seance. Is it not, Himiko?
I'll get to read this again.
However, there are 3 empty rooms. Which one shall we use? The middle room. The middle is always best for stuff like this. Never forget.
Oh, yeah! Himiko was the one who chose the site for the seance!
She likely found out about my plans for the seance somehow.
You were quite vocal about the seance, Kyo. You even had instructions for it in your lab.
Our culprit, Himiko, prepared her seesaw trap ahead of time. Then she waited for me to host the seance and suggested the middle room. She led us all into holding the seance right where she wanted it. Then, she killed Tenko, all according to plan.
That's a lie, right? Himiko did
Wait a
such
second.
What?
I did delay. My fucking brain just kicked in. If they used the seesaw method, and it was Himiko is like much smaller than Tenko is.
Yeah.
So even if you use a lot of force, it'd still be kind of hard to lift her up to such a degree.
If you jumped on it, it would be kind of hard, maybe.
Yeah. So it'd have to be someone heavier.
Someone really tall.
Oh.
In the end, Himiko, who Tenko cherished and loved, tragically killed her.
Wait! We don't know that, right? He's wrong, right, Himiko? Himiko would never kill Tenko, right?
Kill Tenko? I killed Tenko?
Himiko?
What's wrong, Himiko?
It is true that using the middle room was Himiko's idea. Does that mean that Himiko really killed Tenko? Would something like that really happen? Something so cruel. Is this the intermission? Yes.
Finally.
That means we're halfway through.
This trial is long.
So it seems. And we'll continue, because who would want to just stop?
Well now.
Right, we never do that. Looks like we've reached the intermission segment, which means it's time for our Guess the Victim quiz.
A victim quiz, not a culprit quiz? The only victims are the people who are still watching this drawn-out, boring crap. Why are you being such a downer all of a sudden?
It's okay.
It is okay. I am sure everyone is happy. How do you know? They could be skipping this entire conversation for all you know. I can't take it. I can't take it anymore. I'm the real victim here. May! Why are you getting upset? If anything, I'm the real victim. I gotta put up with all this nonsense all the time.
Absolutely right!
It's a right answer, Mannerdom.
Why? He hasn't said anything.
Hey,
Exactly, because there are no victims. Yep, even if you're killed in this killing game, you're a winner. Because then everyone mourns you, and you get tons of posthumous popularity.
That is true. Sometimes people don't like the character until they die, and they're like, oh man, I feel bad for him now. He did nothing wrong.
Yeah, but like, I don't feel bad for too many people that died, other than like Kaede.
Yeah, Kaede was the best. Never forget.
Everyone else, I'm like, whatever.
Daddy!
Oh, Daddy, you don't need to reveal these kind of behind-the-scenes details.
All right!
Dying makes you more popular, then we gotta die soon, too.
Death flags.
Death flags being raised all over the place.
Yep.
Last trial, resume.
Ooh, this is my impression of a spooky, scary ghost.
Ah! I'm fine with real ghosts, but impressions of them are too scary!
Logic does not compute.
Did you hear something?
No, I didn't hear anything.
You know what else is scary? Sweet buns. Yep, tasty, tasty sweet buns. So round, so sweet, so delicious.
That doesn't sound scary at all.
I'm scared too. Scared of losing my friends.
Did you hear something?
No, I didn't hear anything.
They're both gonna die
Answer
now.
us, Himiko.
He will
You chose
slaughter
the
them
middle
all.
room to lure us into your trap,
He
did
will.
you not? Then you used that trap to kill Tenko, yes?
Well, Donkey Lips, did you kill that twat?
Wait, must be some mistake. No way Himiko is culprit.
Then she needs to defend herself. Otherwise, this debate is deadlocked.
I don't care if you gotta use magic to do it, but say something already.
Are you even listening?
No, I'm not listening.
What?
I don't care anymore. I'm too tired. Angie died. Tenko died. Why did I have to survive? And now, you're all saying I killed them? I just don't care anymore.
Himiko.
Do whatever. If you want to vote for me, then just go ahead.
The game gets really blah if the suspect isn't into it.
That's not the problem.
Damn it. Don't tell me you've given up.
Himiko, don't give up.
Don't you understand? My life is riding on the outcome of this trial!
Just shut up. I told you, I'm too tired. It's all just a big pain. I can't put up with it anymore.
What are you talking about? If you give up here...
You needn't worry. Himiko was the one who chose that room. Therefore, she is unmistakably the culprit.
Impossible! Himiko would never kill Tenko! Himiko not that kind of person. Gonta can tell by Himiko's face.
Himiko's a little slow, so I don't think she's capable of handling a complicated crime.
That... I mean, it's true, but also that's a little rude.
I also think Himiko's not the culprit. Somehow.
Either way, we gotta look for more possibilities.
That does seem like rather a pointless quest.
No, it's not. We gotta be strong. Gotta keep thinking. Then we might find new truth. So no give up, Himiko!
Himiko, I know how you feel. Felt the same way after Kaede died. But we can't give up. We survived. We can't give up for the sake of everyone who died. Kaede, whose name I still can't say right, but whatever.
A-Day.
Yep.
Performing the seance in that room
Names are hard,
was
it's
Himiko's
okay.
decision, was it not?
What if someone steered her into picking that room?
Of the 3 empty rooms, Why did you select the middle one, Himiko? Because you laid your trap there?
Was Trap only in that room?
Wait, bloody Kokichi. Especially in the neighboring room, and there was another floorboard that was cut out. Almost like no matter which room you picked, it would have the same thing set up in it.
Yeah. Oh, so suddenly Kyo's hella suspicious.
Too.
I agree.
Smart, Gonta. Good job. Claps for you.
It's just like Gonta said. Each room was the same. They were all trapped.
What? Is that true?
Kokichi will tell you.
I was way too careless. Wait, what are you talking about?
I guess there was no crosspiece supporting this floorboard, so I kinda stepped through. Ah, what bad luck.
While you were in the room next to the crime scene, you found a loose floorboard, right?
Well, I didn't find it so much as I stepped through it and tripped.
What? Hold on! There was also a loose floorboard in the next room?
So the culprit prepared a trap in all 3 empty rooms, not just the middle one.
If the culprit set traps in all the rooms, then they wouldn't need to select a room themselves.
So the real trap was for someone else to pick a room and take the blame.
I see. We were caught in the culprit's trap all along.
And actually, what's interesting,
You!
he's the one that asked the question for the first place.
Yeah.
So it would make the most sense. He is the killer. At least
now there's no
Tenko.
reason to suspect Himiko, right?
I mean, the whole murder needed a seance to happen, and he's the one who set it up, so if it's not Himiko, then it would have to be him, right?
Right. That's a huge piece of damning evidence as well.
Maybe. We shall see.
Himiko, do you remember what Tenko told you?
Time for the 5th time. No. Keep your chin up and live life facing forward. Survive with me and everyone else. Please.
Live life facing forward. She said that to you, right? If you give up on living, you'd be betraying her memory. We're all trying to keep our promises to the dead. This trial, it's not just for our lives. It's for everyone who's died as well. That's why we can't give up. This is our responsibility. We live on.
You're right. Yeah, that's right. If I gave up here, I wouldn't be able to face Angie or Tenko.
That's right. So let's do our best.
Alright, I'm not gonna say it's a pain anymore. I won't give up. I'll fight alongside everyone and survive!
Do not say everyone. After all, the Blackened is still among us.
Jeez, there you go. Killing the mood like usual. But damn! Well said, Shuichi. That's what I'd expect from my soul, bro.
Your soul, bro?
Well, anyway, do you think the Blackened this time has some sort of superpower?
What are you talking about?
Well, as a self-proclaimed expert of stepping through floorboards, isn't it weird that no one stepped through that floorboard before the culprit used it?
I don't know, maybe they put like a big magic circle and told nobody to step on it.
Oh my god.
That is a good point.
It must have been barrier magic. Well, that's one possibility, but I think it might have been something else.
Why did no one step on the floorboard until it was used for the murder? Ah, that's it. That must be the reason. I just need to find it. Magic circle that Kyo drew.
This is it! It's because of the magic circle at the scene of the crime.
Also, it's dark in here, so be sure to watch your step. If the magic circle is broken, not only will the seance fail, but it may also unleash a curse.
Before we began the seance, we were warned not to step on the circle. The floorboard in question was within the circle. That's why no one stepped on it.
So the magic circle's purpose was to keep us away from the whole trick.
That was part of the culprit's plans too?
That's right, if that's the case, then the culprit. There's no doubt in my mind, they're the one who killed Tenko. Only one person had the opportunity and the motive. Who was it?
Yo, 100% Kiko.
Look at his little face.
It has to be
Little
you!
face.
Kyo, was it you?
Whatever are you talking about?
I'm talking about Tenko's murder.
Kyo?
Why do you suspect me?
Because you were the one who drew the magic circle. The circle kept us from discovering the seesaw trick. But that's not all it was for. In order to make the murder succeed, variables like Tenko's position and the placement of the cage needed to be defined. And those variables were defined by using the magic circle. In short, the circle itself was the most important tool in this murder. Knowing that, the person who drew the magic circle has to be the culprit.
Well, Kyo,
Answer already! Did you do it?
What is so funny?
I was just thinking. So this is how each blackened must have felt. What an intriguing experience this is.
What? An intriguing experience?
But if I am the culprit as you claim, then I stomped on the floorboard, yes? So, do tell. How could I have stomped on the floorboard during that darkened seance?
I see. That is problem.
Well, you knew the sigils in the,
Unless that is made clear, you cannot be certain I am the culprit.
he basically knew, like, the whole layout of everything he said on the floor in relation to where he was. So how would he not know?
Like, he had everything memorized, right? So.
Yeah.
how can you be so calm when you're backed into a corner like this?
I will explain that in due time. Please answer my question first.
Culprit stepped on that exact floorboard, even in darkness. How? How did he move around in total darkness? In a room that dark, it's hard to imagine the culprit found the right board. Although, even after I put out the candle, I could move along the wall with my hand.
Wait a minute. Maybe...
Did you figure it out?
What did we figure out? That's it, the culprit didn't even have to see it all. They used... It's either hearing or touch. Which one?
I guess touch? I don't know.
That's it!
Apparently you're right.
The culprit used touch. They didn't see. They felt.
What? Okay, sure.
That way they could get around in the dark, like how I got to the candle.
Wasn't Seesaw in middle of room? Gonta doesn't think it was near wall.
That really is like the first case in Danganronpa 2.
So they probably used something besides the wall to move then, right?
Were there any other markers within reach?
Of course, the answer to that is there was nothing of the sort.
No, I'm sure there was something. A landmark that they could have used to determine where the floorboard was. It must have been at the scene, I know it. Oh no. I have no idea what it is. Well, try A, not A. G, not G. M, M.
Good thing that was right.
Now A.
Yes, we have one heart.
Oh no. No, I don't know what to say. What do you think? Match? Oh, that was the wrong letter anyway, I didn't mean to click that
I
one.
was going to say magic.
The magic circle. Man, I made too many mistakes. If they think I did it, why would they do that? I mean, that's how the game overs work, though, but...
I'm debating already.
He messed up so much as a detective, they're like, he did it.
Yeah. Well, this next part's mandatory, so let's get over with. It's voting time.
Is this...
Is it really
the end?
over? Retry.
Yeah, retry.
We can't let it end here!
Magic. It's magic.
I hate that line.
Magic.
I like how it's said, but I just hate the line.
I see.
Doesn't make a lot of sense, I know. There are several C's that we went across. Oh wow.
Get overwhelmed. I'm sorry.
I see now! That's it! The magic circle! They used the magic circle! Remember? The magic circle was drawn with salt. The culprit used the salt's texture to feel their way through the dark.
I see. So Kyo traced the magic circle with his hands to get to the loose floorboard.
Oh, I see. You drew the magic circle with salt to use it as a guide.
An interesting thought. It is unfortunate that it is so wrong.
What?
Recall the document. What did the magic circle look like?
Based on the document, the magic circle wouldn't reach the corners of the room.
So what?
When the room was darkened, each of us was in a corner of the room, yes? The magic circle didn't reach us, so I could not have followed it, yes?
But you're talking about the magic circle in the document. That doesn't mean the circle you drew was the same.
No, I most definitely drew it exactly the same. I have it perfectly memorized.
So which is it? Is there any way to check?
Not anymore. The magic circle is a complete mess from being trampled on.
I see. Another piece of the puzzle. Drawing the circle with salt all but guaranteed it would be temporary. The investigation itself would have gotten rid of the evidence. Clever.
Everyone, may I have your attention, please?
What a pain. We don't have any way to check it now.
Excuse me, everyone. May I have your attention, please?
Well, I guess there's no point in discussing the magic circle anymore.
Hey, may I have your attention?
Oh, I said cut that out! It's too bright!
I apologize. I just wanted everyone to listen to me.
About what?
I had Miu add another function to my body, in addition to the flashlight.
What the? No way! Did you really? Stop! You can't! I didn't install it for that purpose!
Please, let me use it!
What the
With it,
fuck
I
do you
might be able to
mean?
save everyone.
Alright,
Oh
so
god.
what is this function?
I
It's
don't
an image
know.
recording function.
Okay, image recording function.
Image recording?
She was using it wanted him to use it for something else. I don't know.
Specifically, this function allows me to dispense a printout of my own memory.
Whatever.
I'll give it a try. Ready?
From your mouth?
I've also used magic like that before.
This printout is my memory of being kicked out of the seance. Please confirm that the floor of the empty room is clearly visible. Go on, take the picture and see for yourself.
Okay, got it.
Reluctantly took the paper from Kibo's mouth. Why reluctantly? Because it came out of his mouth? So this is the magic circle used for the seance. Okay.
Well, Shuichi, do you notice anything?
Notice anything? I mean, there are, like, bits of it that go to the corner of the room, kinda. Oh no, I have to pick. Should I pick that?
I guess.
I don't know, it's the only thing I noticed from
the
looking at-
line, it would be to the corner.
Yeah.
This helped a lot, Kibo. Without you, I never would have seen through Kiyo's lie.
My lie?
Yeah,
You just said that you drew
bitch.
the magic circle exactly as it appears in the document. But that's a lie, isn't it? The magic circle at the scene had lines that stretched to the room's corners, which means that you would be able to find the floorboard from anywhere in the room.
So it was different from the document after all.
All because Himiko noticed. And because of Kibo, too.
Hey, where's my thanks? I'm the one who installed that function into Kibo.
Hey, yeah, what was it you were saying about its purpose?
Oh, to be honest, the purpose of that image recording function is to monitor my health. Specifically, I make Kibo use that function every day to analyze my turds. Your what? Why? Shit is a great indicator of intestinal health and gut bacteria quality. Plus, taking a satisfying shit does wonders for a woman's natural beauty, so... See? You're all grossed out! This is why I didn't want to tell you about my plan!
Quit talking about your poop. No one cares. Kyo, you killed Tenko, didn't you? Just give up and admit it already.
She is so weird. And not in a good way.
So, Kiyo, if you have any objections, you can...
Your deductions are fiction.
Of course.
Of course, he's not going out without a fight.
Well, since you've given me the
Yeah.
option, I will most certainly object. To be honest, it's unimportant, but it may be an amusing diversion.
Unimportant?
Now I shall bear witness to your abilities, Shuichi. Do entertain me.
Rebuttal showdown. Blade thing, yes.
Slice your argument.
If you are going to claim I am the culprit, then what of the murder weapon? It was set up in the cage. The only people capable of that are Kokichi and Shuichi, who carried the cage. So suspicion should fall on them.
True, we could have placed the sickle there, but we could not have removed it later. Because we weren't the ones who lifted the cage. That was Himiko.
The only person who could have collected the sickle is Himiko. But the only people who could have placed the sickle are Kokichi and Shuichi. But in regards to that dilemma, I did not carry the cage, nor did I had no opportunity to touch the sickle.
The sheet, perhaps?
So simply
Yeah.
put, I am not the killer.
I mean, I missed the shot, though, but let me see what it says. It's very thick, there's blood. Kyo was the one who placed the sheet over the cage and moved it off the cage, so he's the one that did both beginning and
Yeah.
ending. Sure that Kyo was the culprit. He had a way of getting that murder weapon. I can prove it.
The only person who could have collected the sickle is Himiko. But the only people who could have placed the sickle are Kokichi and Shuichi. But in regards to that dilemma, I did not carry the cage, nor did I had no opportunity to the sickle.
I'll cut through your words! The only person who could have set up the sickle and retrieved it afterward is Kyo. That was done by covering the cage with a white cloth. You could have secretly placed the sickle when you draped the cloth. And retrieved it afterward when you removed the cloth. Then, while everyone was distracted, you discreetly dropped the sickle under the floor.
Wonderful! That's exactly correct.
What?
It's correct? Then why don't you give up already?
The trick I put so much work into is just wasted effort now. Alas.
So, it was you? You killed Tenko?
Let me guess. You'll never forgive me. Himiko, you must hate me so very much. Maybe you'd feel better if I was executed by Monokuma. But unfortunately for you, that won't happen. Because if you vote for me, every spotless, including myself, will die.
What you talking about, Kyo?
What you talk about, Kyo? That's funny. It's just well because Kyo's voice actor is Teruto's, and Teruto, whenever he was like called out, he started talking in like that accent.
What you talking about?
You still don't understand? I killed Tenko. That is the truth. But it is meaningless in this class trial.
Meaningless?
You mean Monokuma's extra rule, right?
Oh, that's right. What happens to your votes if there are two blackened candidates? Well, I have an answer for that. It's first come, first served.
You see, I killed Tenko, but not Angie. For us, Tenko's death is nothing but a trivial issue. Because the blackened in this trial is the culprit who killed Angie.
Trivial issue? No, that's gotta be a lie. You probably killed Angie too.
That is simply not possible. Recall that I was unable to enter Angie's lab.
Oh, only student council members and Kokichi could enter research lab.
How could I have possibly killed Angie when I couldn't even enter her lab?
We can figure that out. No one else could have done it besides you. If you're the one who killed Tenko, you gotta be the one who killed Angie.
I understand how you feel, Himiko, but maybe we can discuss this rationally and calmly. There is a non-zero possibility that Kyo is telling the truth.
So you understand how she feels. I see. Wait, robots can understand human feelings?
Of course I understand. I worked really hard to understand.
Hey, why are you getting all worked up, Kibo? Chill, dude.
That's enough! It's voting time! I'm gonna vote for him!
Voting for me will only help the one who murdered Angie.
Isn't Kyo culprit?
Of course I'm not. This case was an error on my part. Monokuma added that rule after both bodies were found, yes? How was I to know that the trial would only be for Angie's killer? Had I known, I certainly wouldn't have killed Tenko.
You're lying! You killed Tenko and Angie!
Now hold on. Jumping to conclusions here is dangerous.
We should talk it out more. This case might have juicy plot twists waiting to happen.
Nuts to that! Any way you look at this case, Kyo is obviously the culprit.
Yeah, there's sort of no other way to look at it.
No, it's too dangerous to vote before we arrive at a logical decision.
The culprit's one of you! Wowee! This argument is getting intense! At times, looks like this.
The Ultimate Academy is proud to present
this again.
its very own more phenomenal trial grounds.
Gotta have one of these every trial.
Yippee! I've been waiting for this!
Why were you waiting for it?
Kyo confessed to killing Tenko, but insists he didn't kill Angie. We won't forgive Kyo for what he did, but we can't vote until we know the facts. I have to pin down the evidence and convince everyone. Split opinion!
Into the sky with you.
They go up to the dead bodies, even though the markers of the dead bodies, but then they're not here later, so I don't know. Now, or don't vote yet.
Kyo killed Tenko and Angie!
This one?
Kibo! We don't know for certain that Kyo killed Angie.
He forced his way into Angie's research lab and killed her!
Kyo! Anyone could have entered my lab.
It's the wrong
The
one.
katana was found in Kyo's lab.
This is the one.
Anyone could have entered my lab.
You just used it twice.
So Kyo did kill Tenko, but he not blackened?
He's planning to use the new rule to protect himself all along.
I guess we can just let it go through.
Kyo! Not
Yeah, if we
possible.
don't know the answer.
That rule was added after both murders.
We solved the mystery of Tenko's death. Can't we just vote now?
I got this! Not yet. There's still another mystery to solve.
Angie's death.
He forced his way into Angie's research lab and killed her!
We aren't consistent. Our position looks weak. We have to work together. If you vote now, we'll never know the truth. We have to defend that point. Oh, so all the dead bodies are on our side. Okay, that's why it's just the four of us. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's good.
Kyo killed Tenko and Angie!
Kibo! We don't know for certain that Kyo killed Angie.
He forced his way into Angie's research lab and...
I got this! But he couldn't get into Angie's research lab.
The katana was found in
Kyo! Anyone could have entered my lab.
So Kyo did kill...
Kokichi! Perhaps there's a second blackened we need to find.
He was planning to use the...
Kyo! Not possible. That rule was added after both murders.
We solved the mystery.
I got this! Not yet. There's still another mystery to solve.
Smash.
This is our answer.
Nice.
It would be a mistake to vote before we've completely solved Angie's murder.
Oh, the rest of this trial was just all bonus.
And there's still
Right.
the mystery of Tenko's murder.
Mystery? What kind of mystery?
Well, Kyo's confession derailed our conversation a bit. But we still have to go over one of the clues found at Tenko's crime scene. I believe it might even have something to do with Angie's murder.
Yes, the outlying piece of evidence at Tenko's murder scene. You know what it is. You tried to use it at one
Outlying
point.
piece.
I think
Uh,
there was dried blood under the floor, so somebody else was
Yeah.
bleeding before.
Mhm.
That would
This
be
is
my
it.
guess. Because I honestly can't remember. This case
The
is
blood
very
stain found under
complicated.
the floor. Maki and I
Right.
found it during the investigation. It was beneath the floorboard that the culprit stomped on.
Is that Tenko's blood?
That bloodstain was too far from Tenko's corpse to have been hers.
Also, the bloodstain was already dry when we found it. But the blood from Tenko's body hadn't even begun to dry yet.
Well, that's weird. Why was that bloodstain the only dry one?
Bloodstain under the floorboard was dry because before the seance, was there before Tenko was killed, was from the investigation, air was dry. Happened before?
Yeah.
The air was really dry, but only in that one spot.
The bloodstain
Yeah,
wasn't
guys,
from
it's
Tenko's
because
murder.
the salt.
The salt.
It was there before we started the seance.
Before the seance?
That should make it clear whose blood it was. The blood stain from before the seance, it has to be from them. Who?
Angie?
I mean...
That's it! That bloodstain wasn't Tenko's. It was Angie's.
Why was blood from Angie at the scene of Tenko's murder?
Wait, was it too obvious? Am I just dumb?
No, I only know it because I already did this, but...
Uh-oh. Fair enough, I guess.
Like, I don't know why. Maybe he'll explain.
Wasn't Angie killed in her research lab?
Yeah, I need to try.
Just because we found her body there doesn't mean she was killed there.
Ah, I guess that's possible.
If Angie wasn't killed in her lab, then that opens up a lot more possibilities. We assumed that only council members could have killed Angie since her body was in her lab. But if she died somewhere else, then we can't suspect just the council members anymore.
So the culprit didn't enter her lab, but waited for her to come out of it?
I'm not sure if the culprit waited for her, but they probably killed her when she came out. Well, I thought that was more likely from the start. So I went to places Angie might have gone and checked all 3 empty rooms.
Places she might have gone? Why did you check the empty rooms then?
The empty rooms were the only places I could think of that Angie would go.
Did Angie have business in rooms?
It seems Kokichi's up to his usual misleading nonsense again.
I do lie a lot, and I could be lying right now too. But I'm pretty sure someone's panicking right now because of my lie.
And she left her lab on her own and headed to the room where she was killed. Is Kokichi's statement true, or... Let's find out. These third cases are always hard.
Yeah, and extraordinarily
the
long.
art research lab
Yeah.
is not where Angie was killed. She was killed in the empty room instead.
Oh,
She
boy.
left her lab on her own?
But why would she go into an empty room?
Let's see, what's the Necronomicon say? An effigy of the dead you wish to contact, or may participate, the size of sheep, etc. Let's see, there's no way. A light tap on your back. I don't see anything there, other than carbon monoxide poisoning. I don't see how that would work.
There shouldn't have been anything in there.
Except for candles.
That's it! She wanted a candle!
Oh, to burn the
Keep
Necronomicon.
herself awake at night.
Oh,
Would
yeah.
drip hot wax on her body.
Oh,
That sounds like
God,
something
shut
only
up.
you would do, Mew.
Yeah.
What did Kokichi see? Something Angie did. There has to be a clue
The
there.
art research lab
Okay, now we have our answer.
she was killed in the empty room instead.
She left her lab on her own? But why would she go into an empty room? There shouldn't have been anything in there. Except for
Candles.
That's it! She
I agree! That's it. Angie went to that room to get a candle.
Yeah, for kinky wax play.
No. Angie was going to use it for the ritual. According to the Necronomicon, to resurrect the dead,
After preparing the effigy, burn this Necronomicon to ashes. Use caution. Be mindful of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Then, did she seek out a candle so she could burn the book?
That's right. There's nothing to start a fire with in Angie's lab. So she went to go get a candle from one of the empty rooms.
And that's when the culprit attacked her.
That's why there was dried blood under floor.
Which means Angie was attacked in the same room the seance was held. Bravo, Himiko. Well done for choosing that room for the seance. If we hadn't done the seance in that room, then Tenko's murder would have been in another room. If that happened, no one would have discovered Angie's bloodstain under the floorboards.
That's right. Shuichi and I only checked under the floorboards where Tenko died.
Yep, it's all thanks to Himiko for choosing the same room as Angie. This must be Atua's will. Or maybe the power of magic.
It's neither. I just picked one.
Hold on. You're all acting as though you've proven that as fact already. You claim Angie was murdered in the empty room, and then moved to the lab? Then how do you explain the large amount of blood in the lab? It may be possible to carry a body, but blood cannot be moved.
Maybe it's just paint.
I think she was still alive after the attack in the empty room.
It could be, but also another thing to think about. I mentioned that it was like post-mortem, like the head, the blood to the head. Because there wasn't much blood coming from it. But it could be that that was like done beforehand.
Yeah,
and it
knock
only,
her out,
knocked
and then
out.
drag her over there, and then execute her.
Bingo, bingo.
She was killed after she was carried to her lab.
That means the culprit attacked her twice. I have evidence of that. I mean, the Monokuma file. Right?
Yeah.
Oh no.
What?
Guess it's not that.
Leave it out.
Okay, everybody, just let me do the right thing. I'm sorry. Let's see. I thought that was it, but let's check further in. Wait, forehead injury. That one.
This is it.
Sometimes it's got its own thing, but like I thought that was mentioned in the Monokuma file
back
too.
of her neck from a katana.
Yeah.
She also showed signs
so
of blunt
weird.
force trauma.
Anyway.
And I think I know why.
No,
After
yeah,
Angie
none
was
of that.
knocked unconscious in the empty room, she was killed in her lab.
I see. So that puddle of blood is from the killing blow. Ha! It's all clear now. Angie was attacked in the empty room, carried to her lab, and it was there that the culprit finished her off.
All clear. This is all clear. What are you all talking about? All clear? What is all clear? What are you? All clear? What are you all? You what? What are? I will not fear. I will not back down.
What?
Sweet Korekio, calm yourself. Their words are all hollow. There is no meaning to any of them.
What?
You must teach these ignorant children a lesson. Yes, you're right. Okay, I'll teach them.
What the hell are you mumbling about? You're giving me the goddamn willies!
Not yet. Nothing is clear at all. It's full of doubts, of mysteries, of a dense, impenetrable fog! Nothing is clear at all!
It's another sword fight with him.
You never have enough of these, I guess.
Well, they're kind of climactic, I suppose.
Yeah.
Angie was attacked in the empty room first, and then carried into the research lab? Impossible! Impossible! That's nothing but a delusion! You intend to poison our minds with your delusions?
It's no delusion. Angie's 2 external wounds tell the story. After she was struck in the empty room, she was carried to the art research lab and then killed.
You say the culprit carried Angie's body? And not a single drop of blood fell? The hallway and empty room had no bloodstains.
Even if you wipe them down later, there'd still be traces of evidence left behind. But there was no evidence anywhere, was there, Shuichi?
Buried Angie in such a way that it wouldn't leave any blood behind. I'm sure there's a clue at the scene that proves it. I need to confront Kyo with that evidence. It can't be thrown off by his
You say
clues.
the culprit carried Angie's body?
The bloody duct tape. With duct
Yeah,
tape over
because
the wound.
they would have. Yeah, they would have put it on her head to stop bleeding, I guess.
And not a single drop of blood fell? The
then
hallway
we
and
could
empty
restart.
room had no blood stains.
No, wait. we
Even
don't.
if you wipe them down
What'd you say?
Don't worry about it. It's okay.
Okay.
There'd still be traces of evidence left behind, but there was no evidence.
Well,
I'll cut through your words.
Right there, Shuichi.
There was evidence left at the scene. The bloody tape under Angie's body.
Slow down and sped up. It's just so funny.
I forgot all about the bloody tape. It was the true evidence all along.
It was wrapped
It's the
around her
only
head
piece
to
that we
stop the
haven't
bleeding
used so
while she
far.
was being carried.
What'd you say?
I think it's the only piece that we haven't used so far.
Bloody tape? Gonta didn't notice at all.
It was under the body. It's most likely evidence the culprit should have gotten rid of. But since it was hidden, the culprit didn't notice and failed to dispose of it.
It must have fallen as the fatal blow was dealt and ended up under her body.
It must have been Atua who did that for us.
What? Atua? How long are you going to keep that up?
Now we know most of the mystery behind Angie's murder.
I'm convinced there's only one person who could have killed Angie.
Who is it?
Yeah.
Could it be the most suspicious guy here?
It has to be you.
Unless he's the only one that have a reason to be in that room, too.
It's you, Kyo.
Right.
You killed Angie.
What the fuck? So it's true!
Well, that was obvious. Such a boring, obvious answer.
You killed both of them. Why did you kill them?
In terms of pure logic, only one victim was necessary to win.
Why? Why you killed them both?
I think one of the murders was an accident.
An accident?
That's right. It wasn't part of the plan.
Huh? Which one?
Murder, that was an accident. I mean, the Angie one, because I mean, the Tenko one had way too much thought put into how to kill.
Yeah.
But Angie just walked in and then got murdered.
That's it. Angie's murder was an accident.
Which means Kyo does not get bonus points for killing Angie because he didn't do it on purpose.
Right.
What? Tenko wasn't accident?
That's right. Kyo originally planned to kill someone with a seesaw trick. But while he was making preparations in the empty room, Angie walked in. So he decided to kill her in order to keep her from talking.
She just happened to walk in on the culprit setting up and was killed.
Then he should have just stopped there. Once he killed Angie, there was no reason for him to kill Tenko.
You only needed to kill one for this game. Killing two is pointless. If you get bonus points for killing more, then sure. Otherwise, it leaves more clues behind.
In fact, if there wasn't for the second one, then we wouldn't have had the clues to get the first one.
Right.
If you just went with the first one, you would have gotten away with it.
Why, Kyo? Why you kill two of our friends?
What on earth are you talking about? No, I'm not the culprit. So why is everyone looking at me like I am? Why? Why are they? Why is it? Calm yourself, Korekio. Yes. You mustn't raise your voice. You mustn't stutter. You mustn't lose composure. You mustn't become flustered. You mustn't waver. Look at their horrid faces. This sorry lot is not worth agonizing over. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
There he goes again. What the hell's wrong with him?
It almost seems like he's talking with someone.
Someone? He's just talking to himself. And why the hell is he wearing lipstick?
Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh no, another one.
Yeah.
No matter how loudly you protest, this is a trivial matter. I will never acknowledge your allegations. Not a single one of them.
For you see, there is no evidence that I killed Angie. No, I will not acknowledge it. I will only acknowledge facts, true events. I won't acknowledge fiction, mystery. I won't acknowledge your deductions or guesses.
Well said. Good job, Correggio.
Yes, thanks.
Creeps me the fuck out!
No evidence. There's no evidence that he killed Angie?
You're wrong. There is evidence.
What? You do realize bluffs like that won't work, yes?
The weapon that was used to knock Angie unconscious in the empty room. That weapon tells us the whole story, Kyo.
That's not possible. I think you may have misunderstood. Apologize. Come on, apologize.
Apologize. Apologize. Apologize.
Come on, apologize. Apologize, apologize. Apologize, 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 apologize.
Seriously, what the hell's happening?
I have no idea what's happening with Kyo. But I know what weapon he used on Angie. I have to prove it to him. Do we have any idea what the weapon could be? Like the one that he hit her with to knock her out first.
I know what you mean.
Just bonk her with that. No.
No, it's way too heavy.
Yeah. The stone!
Oh,
wait, no.
No. Loose floorboard.
The loose floorboard, because it has the blood on it.
Yeah.
Okay, we have our answer. Is this the final battle part? Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I have nothing to admit. You are simply wrong. Yes, I'm not the culprit. So I have nothing to confess.
The hardest one.
I have nothing to admit. You are simply wrong.
Even when it's like this, I can do it.
Yes, I'm not the culprit. So I have nothing to confess. I have nothing to admit.
They should have done something else for this.
You are simply wrong. Yes, I'm not the culprit. So I have nothing to confess. I have nothing to admit. You are simply wrong. Yes.
Why does it become even harder when I do this?
So I...
Okay, we got past the phase.
Force your delusions on us. Your logic. That's merely a delusion. Well said, Correggio. To continue this debate is meaningless. Why must you force your delusions on us? Your logic. That's merely a delusion. Well said, Correggio. To continue this debate is meaningless. Why must you force your delusions on us? Your logic. That's merely a delusion. Well said, Correggio. To continue this debate is meaningless. I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. Correggio speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot. Apologize. 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 I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. Correggio speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot. Apologize. 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 I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. Correcchio speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot. Apologize. 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 I told you I am not the culprit.
Gosh.
Why are you looking at
I'm
me
so
like
glad
that?
it's so lenient.
You're all wrong, not me. Correcchio speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot.
The final blow.
You have
You
no
were back
proof
at this,
that Correcchio
but
is the killer.
You did it.
Floorboard. What?
Floorboard moved.
We have no proof that Correcchio moved. No, moved.
Moved floorboard.
Well, I didn't know what I was supposed to say. Floorboard. What? The floorboard moved our floorboard. Our moved floorboard. Did I misread it?
It's only moved floorboard, I think.
We try.
We can't let it end.
We just gotta do it again. We can handle it.
I have nothing to admit. You are simply wrong. Yes, I'm not the culprit. So I have nothing to confess. I have nothing to admit. You are simply wrong. Yes.
I want to repeat, though, that this game sometimes doesn't like to register when I click stuff. And I think it is making this harder.
I have nothing to admit. You are simply
If that
wrong.
is the case, then not all of it's on you.
I'm not the culprit.
Swear, I'm not
So
that
I have
bad.
nothing to confess.
Okay.
I have
I trust you.
Why must you force your delusions on
It would
us?
be very unfortunate to be this bad.
That's merely a delusion. Well said, Correcchio. To continue this
I
debate
love you,
is
but I need to be
meaningless.
honest.
Why must you force your delusions on us?
It'd be bad for anyone.
You're lying. That's merely a delusion. Well said, Correcchio. To continue this debate. I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. Correcchio speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot. Apologize. 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 I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. Correcchio speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot. Apologize. 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 I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. Correcchio speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot. Apologize. 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 I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you... You have no proof that Correcchio is the killer.
Moved. Removed floorboard. Okay.
Oh.
But I can't. Okay, we just gotta do this last part again. This time. It's fine.
Why are you looking at
I've
me
been
like
doing
that?
the whole thing again.
You're all wrong, not me.
Removed the floorboard.
You have no proof that Correcchio is the killer.
Removed floorboard.
It is
See, it was not registering half the time I clicked. Anyway, destroyed him too.
Kyo hit Angie with the same floorboard used in the seesaw trick.
I see. And how do you know the floorboard was the murder weapon?
There was a small patch of dried blood on the underside of the floorboard.
Angie's blood?
Blood that spattered there when the culprit struck Angie with the board.
If every case like this would
But
be
that's
this
not
hard,
the only evidence that she was hit with that floorboard.
I would never want to be a detective. It would suck.
Every murder was this intense.
There's also the blood stain under the floor to consider. For that to be there, the floorboard must not have been in place at the time of the attack.
Good point. Had the floorboard been in place, her blood wouldn't have splattered beneath it.
Kyo's earlier confession is further evidence that the floorboard was used.
How?
If the weapon used to hit Angie is the floorboard from the seesaw trick,
It means the culprit knew about the seesaw, so the same person killed Tenko and Angie.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I believe that while Kyo was setting up the seesaw, he was holding the board when Angie walked in.
And he cold-cocked her with the floorboard.
all you can do now is accept it. You even confessed to Tenko's murder already.
So it's true. This is the truth.
Looks like we're almost at the end. All right, Shuichi, I'll leave the finale to you. Bring down the house.
Shuichi, please, put an end to this. For Angie and Tenko's sake. End this class trial.
I understand. I'll go over everything one more time.
Everybody's favorite part of the game.
I want you to confess. No, I will force you to confess.
It's okay, we can use it to discuss what has happened so far.
I guess so. Sure, why not?
Moved floorboard. This one, right? Hitting all the wrong buttons. This. Yep. Sliding lock. A small stone indigo. Move the gold leaf katana. Doom. It's compressing, that'd be the other thing. Weapon killed Angie, that'd be the sword. Let's just removed it. Is that the point that you removed it? This effigy was stabbed. So is it this? You think it's this?
Yeah. Because it's in the sheath to the right.
Whose effigy was stabbed with the katana? The handle of the spinning katana hit the sliding lock. So I think that's this. Just need to find where the small stone Himiko brought. This, okay. That must be unlocked. Stuck duct tape. Left, right, up. Now it worked. Down. Sickle place to kill. Oh, one down here as well. Maybe with salt. Let's go back a little bit. It's compressing. It was stuck to duct tape. Let's go to the side. This effigy. We're not at that point. Angel's body was found. Who unlocked the door? It was. What's his name? What weapon did the culprit set up in the iron cage? A sickle place to kill. A path made with salt. And now all the others unlock. Shuichi extinguished the flame. Beside Kokichi would be Shuichi. There we go. Cut crosspiece under the floor. Just get a bunch of stuff. Stomp hard on floor. Footsteps contaminating the scene. Kokichi's lockpicking. Stabbed Kaede's effigy. Let's go back here. Kaede. Stabbed. The culprit with the saw would be. Whose effigy was stabbed. Kaede. That name.
Kaede.
Angel's body was found. Who unlocked that door? Kokichi. The culprit approached the cage. Stomp hard. Yes, that The seesaw effect, it's right there. The dreaded seesaw effect.
This is the truth of the case!
I like how that was the word you had to find, was seesaw effect. Like, that's just a thing that people think.
Let's look back at the first murder.
Right.
Just like rope away, I didn't know what.
It was late last night.
Either, so
The culprit was in the empty room on the 4th floor. The culprit was preparing the seance murder they had planned. To use the floorboard as a seesaw, they had to cut the crosspiece supporting it. The plan was to make the same preparations for all 3 empty rooms. This would divert suspicion away from the culprit and whoever picked a room. To cut the crosspieces, they needed a saw. I imagine they got one from the warehouse. They were planning to cut the crosspieces in all 3 rooms. However, when the culprit was working on the middle room, the unexpected happened. Angie walked into that room and saw the culprit making their preparations. She needed some fire for the ritual and had gone to the room for a candle. At that point, the culprit had not finished the setup and was just cutting crosspieces. Angie might not have concluded that it was tied to some kind of murder plan. But now that Angie had seen it, the culprit couldn't use the seesaw trick. Any other person might have just given up, but not our culprit. The culprit took the floorboard they loosened and struck the unsuspecting Angie in the head.
This takes so long. Frustrating.
The culprit did not want to give up on their plan and had to improvise.
Act 2.
They wrapped duct tape around Angie's injury to stop the bleeding. Then they picked up her unconscious body and carried her to a research lab. While she was unconscious, the culprit hurried to tie up this loose end. But because they were in a hurry, they made a crucial oversight. They didn't notice the duct tape had peeled off and was under Angie's body. Without that evidence, we may never have figured out the culprit's trick. Carrying the supplies they needed, the culprit returned to the ultimate art lab. Locked the front door from inside. And took out the katana they brought from their own lab. They then stabbed Angie in the back of the neck, finally killing her.
Nice sound effect.
Then, to further confuse us, the culprit attempted to make a locked room mystery. First, they used rope from the warehouse and hung 4 effigies upside down. There were 2 reasons for this. To overwhelm the room with an occult atmosphere, and the other was the key to locking the room. The culprit stuck the katana into Kaede's effigy near the rear entrance. And spun the effigy around to twist up the rope. After enough turns, the culprit let go and headed for the rear door.
Upskirt, no.
Once released, the effigy began spinning, and the gold leaf katana with it. The handle of the katana then hit the sliding lock, locking the door. A difficult trick, but remember that the lock was so loose it moved at the slightest touch. The culprit also would have had the opportunity to attempt it many times. Once complete, the door was locked, but the duct tape was left behind. Perhaps the culprit noticed it, but by that point, it was too late. The room was sealed. There was no way for them to get back inside.
Like how the duct tape is glowing.
Yeah.
Act 3.
Then, this morning, we opened up the room and discovered Angie's body. But the culprit wasn't finished. They wanted one more murder.
They just love to murder.
To do that, they manipulated us into performing this seance. Of the 3 empty rooms, the middle one was chosen for the seance. I was invited by Kokichi to take Kibo's place in the seance. Tenko volunteered to be the medium, but she never imagined it would get her killed. To perform the seance, the culprit claimed they needed something for Tenko. A small stone that Himiko had brought from the courtyard. Tenko, at the culprit's request, bowed her head until it was touching the stone. That position was instrumental in making sure the murder went as planned. Next,
yeah, they just throw it on
and I
like
placed
that.
the iron cage over Tenko in the middle of the magic circle. The culprit then volunteered to drape the white cloth over the iron cage. We didn't realize it at the time, but that was a deliberate decision by the culprit. They needed to set up the murder weapon that was used to kill Tenko. While they were covering the cage with a cloth, they secretly placed the sickle. Finally, 4 of us placed the wooden statue on top of the cage. The culprit used the weight of the statue to keep the murder weapon in place.
Just thought of this really cool murder plan. He's like, I didn't get to use it. I need
After
to use
the
it.
preparations were complete, we began the seance.
Even though the other one was much more flawless with no pointing back to him at all. The accidental murder was just stronger.
In complete darkness,
funny.
we each stood in one corner and sang the Cage Child song.
Maybe the way to win in Danganronpa is not to like plan out a really good murder. It's to just like wait in a room, and then if somebody just randomly walks in, you just like shank them. And then nobody will have any evidence that it was you, because like there's nothing.
I think I heard somewhere that typically the best murders have the least amount of steps.
Yeah. Every single step is another thing to go wrong, or evidence to leave behind, etc.
Right.
When the song finished, the soul of the dead was supposed to enter the medium. But our culprit had another plan: to commit a murder in the darkness. Right after we started singing, the culprit began making their way toward Tenko. It would have been quite difficult to do in total darkness, but our culprit had a guide. They used the lines of the magic circle drawn with salt. The culprit felt for the salt and used it to guide them along. And when the culprit reached the center of the circle, they found the floorboard that had its crosspiece cut off the night before. Then lifted up their foot and stomped down hard on the floorboard.
It's more like they jumped on it, but yes.
The floorboard lifted up like a seesaw and pushed Tenko's body up toward the ceiling of the cage. Tenko was stabbed in the back of the neck by the sickle on the top of the cage.
And then she died instantly.
She was killed right before our eyes, and we didn't even see it. After committing the crime, the culprit followed the Salt back to their corner, finished the ritual, and had us light the candles. We followed the culprit's directions and removed the equipment used for the seance. And discovered Tenko's body. And while we were all focused on the body, the culprit picked up the sickle and dropped it under the floor through the hole in the corner of the room. Ironically, the final step of the murder was unwittingly carried out by us. The culprit had planned the murder so that we would unintentionally destroy some evidence.
I mean, most of the murder was unwittingly committed by them because they locked her in a cage.
That evidence was the magic circle that the culprit used to navigate in the dark.
He just said, no, the seance sounds stupid, and then didn't do it. Then
Yeah, they wouldn't have died.
However, the culprit didn't know that Kibo had taken a picture. He really saved us. Without that, we wouldn't know what changes were made to the circle.
Yeah, shout out to
But now
Kibo.
we know for certain, and we know the culprit drew the magic circle.
He's vibrating intensely.
Yoshinguchi, the ultimate anthropologist. You're the culprit behind these murders.
Okay, it's over. Now you can see new stuff.
Thank God.
That's where my detective work leads us. It all fits.
Fucking hate that. Takes so long. Like, what? Almost like 30 minutes for that?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. We can check.
Sweet.
Very, very long.
There are times when it's necessary to admit defeat. Admit? Yeah. Okay.
So you finally admit you did it.
Unfortunately. Yes. Yes. It's unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. My one regret, my only regret, was not being able to make 100 friends.
100 friends?
It was my dream to make 100 friends. Oh, it's so unfortunate! I was so close to 100!
What are you talking about? I do not understand a word of
He's
this.
100 people killed, probably.
Oh my goodness, that means he's killed more people than Murdery Jill.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck? Let's vote for this kooky bastard and be done with this already!
Roger that! One voting time coming up!
The heart racing
Thank you,
excitement
Monokuma.
The heart racing excitement!
As a blackened and a spotless finally face off!
They ignored Monodon when he did it. They did it.
Yep.
It's voting time!
Okay,
Now
who
they're
we
done gonna
voting
kill them
for?
Obviously, it was Himiko the whole time.
The whole time. Want me to vote for him?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
I don't know. There might come a time when you don't want me to vote for who it seems to be.
It seems the voting has finished. Let's see the result.
Let's see if everybody voted for them. Dang, he even voted for himself.
Yep. Of course.
Alternatively, he didn't vote for anyone, so he's gonna die
As
anyway.
the
But...
blackened. Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Verdict. Imagine if it was just like, nope, they didn't do it. They're like, what? And then we all die, and then it's like, what a plot twist that would be.
Game over or something.
All right. Okay, we got A's on everything anyway, so it's fine. There's a couple of retries in there, but it's still fine. A. Now you get the voice stuff.
Wow, seriously? You're correct again.
Absolutely right.
Amazing. This is the third correct verdict in a row.
All right.
If you manage to get 12 correct verdicts in a row, you'll proceed to the bonus round. How's this gonna last that long?
For now.
It's finally over.
No.
No, not yet. I haven't heard his answer yet. Kyo, why? Why did you kill Auntie and Tenko?
Right!
Yeah, he need to know them. He don't need to kill them both, no matter what motive he have.
Oh?
Motive?
Hey!
Did your motive have something to do with the transfer student who was resurrected? Even if it did, though, how did that trigger a murder?
Hey!
Don't tell me, were you actually scared of the resurrection ritual, Kaito?
Shut up!
Shut up, I never said I was scared.
The resurrection ritual had nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it?
Because we're friends. I'll tell you, I never once believed in the ritual. I would never kill someone over such a silly thing as that.
What?
So it has nothing to do with the motive?
Yeah?
Then why?
Yes.
For the one that I love.
There is someone that I love.
From the bottom of my heart. Someone so dear, someone I long for.
Oh my goodness.
I love her with all my heart. And she loves me with all her heart. Yes, we vowed an endless love to each other, forever bound by fate. None can come between us. We are bound by an intense love, no matter what anyone says.
That's some intense dissociative identity disorder.
What?
Bragging about your perfect love life? Fuck you. Some of us aren't that lucky.
So to see this lover of yours, you had to escape.
Don't tell me.
That's how you killed Angie and Tenko. But why did you need to kill both? If you asked if I did it to escape this place, my answer would be no.
Wonderful.
Because I have no need to escape this place. The one I love is inside.
Inside?
Wait!
Don't look at me. I'm not his lover.
Yeah.
Calm down. No one would want a disgusting stuffed bitch like you anyway.
Curse Blue!
Oh my god. What?
Hey!
What the what? Yeah.
What the what? Kyo, who is it? Who's this person you love?
Hey.
Is it really one of us?
When I say it's inside, I do not mean inside this academy.
You see?
I mean inside me.
Sister.
Oh. Ew. You look at it as your sister. That's gross. Yes, the one I love inside me. My dearest sister.
Huh?
Sister?
Wait!
Don't look at me. I'm not a sister.
Right?
Shut the fuck up.
Well, duh. If you were his sister, he would have killed himself already.
Wait!
Your sister,
Wow.
but didn't you say she was your lover?
Whatever is the matter?
It is not that difficult. My sister is my lover. So fucking gross.
I loved her so deeply. And she loved me so deeply. The fact that we were siblings meant nothing to us.
Oh, look at
We
the top
called it
left.
Forbidden love.
No
But
physical
none
connection.
could stop the love we shared.
Oh, how I long for my sister's warmth.
The only time I felt at peace
Was when I was enveloped in my sister's warmth. For my beloved sister.
Again, not his actual sister. It's dissociative identity disorder. This is technically himself. So do not be frightened too much.
He's just insane.
Yeah, it's still gross though. Anyway, that is why, for my beloved sister, I had to.
Always messing around.
You had to escape from here, right?
No.
No, I had to kill for her.
Huh?
What?
Sister.
Sister was very sickly. She was always in and out of the hospital ever since she was a child. Because of that, she didn't have many friends. She always seemed so lonely.
However,
Even if I could be her little brother and her lover, I couldn't be her friend. So I thought I'd find her some friends. Friends for my dear deceased sister.
huh?
Deceased?
Do you understand?
My sister is now a ghost, so her friends should be ghosts too, right?
For my beloved sister.
So I thought it was dissociative. I mean, it is technically.
Kind of. Yeah.
He's like spinning it to make it seem like his sister. God, you're freaking weird. For sister's sake, I've killed many to send her 100 friends. They were all wonderful people, worthy of being sister's friends.
Huh?
What?
Incomprehensible.
This is too impossible to understand. Too impossible.
Sister.
My sister's very happy.
Yes.
Yes, Correggio, I am very happy. Thanks to you, I am not lonely.
What?
Could it be that the lipstick version of Kyo is...
I am Correggio's older sister.
Thank you for looking after my little brother.
What?
What the hell?
Yes.
After I lost my beloved sister, I was so distraught. I nearly went mad. But my sister came to save me.
I am pleased.
She visited me during one of my seances and stayed inside me.
Sister.
Now I can see her whenever I want. I'm never lonely.
Correggio.
That's wonderful, Correggio. Your love made the impossible possible.
Are you serious?
You serious? Is this really a spirit?
I told you.
He's just delusional.
You're right. What a sad girl who can't even believe in the power of love.
Ew.
Either way, he's totally out of his mind. I mean, he killed for a dead chick.
Well, you know.
You said you killed a lot already, right? So it wasn't just the two you killed here?
What was that?
What?
Seems like he was already crazy before he got here.
Because?
You didn't kill to escape from here. That wasn't your purpose from the get-go. You just wanted to slaughter a bunch, huh?
Unacceptable.
Don't make me out to be some bloodthirsty, indiscriminate killer. I only kill girls who I think are worthy of being my sister's friends.
Huh?
Only girls? I see. So you're not like a serial killer that only kills cute boys. You're the opposite. No. So when you were deciding on who should be the medium.
But they actually killed. Well, that we saw anyway.
Right.
Before that, let's choose a spiritual medium. It would work best with a girl. So he says.
Said it would work best with a girl.
I
spent my time evaluating all the girls here.
Wonderful.
And besides Maki and Miu, they were all worthy.
No Maki and Miu allowed.
Well, yeah, they both of them are kind of, you know, Miu especially. Maki, I think I'd be friends with her. All worthy of being my sister's friends.
Yeah?
All worthy.
Why, you?
Hey, how come I'm not included? I mean, not like I care. Then the second victim could have been me. Tenko died in place of me.
I mean, Himiko almost was the one that did it, but then Tenko was like, no, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And saved Himiko's life in the end.
Then I'll do it. I can't think of anyone but me that Angie's spirit should go in.
No, I'll do it.
Excellent.
Himiko would have been great. The Tenko volunteering made me so happy. Her noble, earnest heart made her a perfect friend for her sister.
Wonderful.
She even infiltrated the student council to protect Himiko. Huh? Infiltrate? Really?
But...
How did you...
It was obvious to me. I have studied many people.
Can this
Yes.
be?
She stood up against the darkness of the school all by herself. All for her beloved friend.
Beautiful.
I was so touched by that. Wonderful. She was a perfect friend for sister. I can't understand why you didn't like her, Himiko.
Well.
Though, I was planning on having you become sister's friend too. Eventually.
No way!
What? You do all that for...
Wow, you did all that just to kill. For you to go that far. That's pretty impressive.
Well,
You were interested in the caged child, just so you could use it to kill someone, right?
Let's see.
It interests me as an anthropologist, of course. But more than that.
For my beloved sister!
I wanted to kill for sister. I cannot deny that overpowering feeling.
Are you okay?
Kaido, are you okay? You look kinda pale. Don't worry about it. Let's focus on Kyo right now.
Allow me to explain, though. I did not I did not plan to kill both of them. I knew I would have plenty of chances after escaping this place.
However...
But Angie walked in on me preparing, and I ended up killing her in a different way. So I figured I may as well kill someone else, too. After all, it would have been a shame to just waste the seance trick I prepared.
What is that?
You're talking like you killed her just because you could.
No, not just because I could. I was sending another friend to sister.
Correcchio.
Correcchio, you're such a thoughtful brother. But it was bad to get greedy.
Also, if you hang out with Korikyo, then at the end, like when you max friendship with him, he says that maybe you'd make a really good friend for his sister, and he wants to show you, and he wants to bring you to her one day.
Oh god, oh god. That's terrifying.
Yep.
Oh dear.
You're right. Because of that, now I can't send 100 friends to sister. Do you understand now? Those were the circumstances of Korekio's crime. I do not understand. This is all too impossible for me to understand.
Why?
That right. Killing 2 friends for your dead sister?
But how?
That wrong. That's so wrong. Oh, don't get so worked up. There's something I learned after sister's death.
Do not worry.
Death only changes a person's form. The soul lives on as a ghost.
That's right.
Even though I'm a ghost now, I am always by Korekio's side.
Sister.
Thank you, sister. I love you. Cut it out already.
What was that?
I don't understand anything you're saying. Nothing makes sense. It's not fair. Why did Angie and Tenko have to die for something so unfair?
Well...
Because death is unfair.
And another thing.
All deaths are unfair deaths. Why do you think the news stations get such high ratings when they're reporting about death? Because everyone likes unfair deaths.
Maybe.
Well, if you look at it like that, this whole killing game embodies that philosophy, right? Gifted high school students forced to play a killing game. Man, if people were watching this, they would get a kick out of it. People were watching this?
Shut up!
Knock off the bullshit. Only sick bugs would enjoy watching this.
You got me!
Oh yeah, if I wasn't in this killing game, I would have so much fun watching.
So then...
The nature of this killing game is yet shrouded in mystery. But my role in it is over. I have finished my explanation to you, friends.
Sister...
I think I should go and see her now. My beloved sister.
Sister...
I was unable to send her 100 friends, but at least I can see her again now.
Korekio.
It's alright, sweet Korekio. Come to me.
Oh.
Looks like you already prepared. Now then, let's get started.
It's punishment time!
It's time for the moment you've all been waiting for. Mika Mika Beat. Punishment.
Huh?
Punishment time.
Sister...
My beloved sister, at long last, I'll finally get to see you again.
That's right.
Yes, from now on, no one will try to stop us. We can be together without having to hide our love from others.
What?
But wait, I can't accept this.
Therefore...
Like I said, there's no such thing as death that can be accepted.
From an anthropological point of view...
Why do you think so many different cultures have funeral rites? Why do you think rumors of ways to resurrect the dead never cease?
Yes.
The living must find a reason, however forced to accept death when it happens. How you come to terms with death also determines how you live, yes?
What was that?
What?
That
was the answer I reached. How about you? How will you live a life that faces death?
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
For the ultimate anthropologist, Korekio Shinguji.
I shall observe.
I will watch over you all as a ghost. As your friend, I will watch over you.
That's right.
It won't just be me and Korekio. All of those who died will be watching. I'll be watching to see how you face your death of your friends.
Humanity is beautiful.
I'll be watching forever and ever.
It's punishment time!
Let's give it everything we got. It's punishment time.
Yay. I'm sure it won't be weird at all.
Yeah. Oh no. Why?
I can't.
Oh God.
Time for the punishment. I can't read all that melting pot. Some cultural melting pot. dove into the
Really?
fire.
I thought he would have pushed them in.
No,
Yeah,
he
whatever.
decided he didn't want to live anymore.
I see.
Oh, the salt. Oh no, the salt.
I guess you're not going to be watching over anything now, are you?
Dang, his soul was deleted too.
Yep.
What?
How gory!
No, Monodom, why?
How can this be?
What the? To think my cute child would commit Radical 6!
Yay!
Yeah, it's so cute! It's so freaking cute that he would commit Radical 6 because he couldn't get along.
Monodom, Radical 6. Had I known this would happen, I would have been nicer to him. The only reason Monodom obsessed over getting along was because everyone but me bullied him.
That's right!
Yes, the other Mono Cubs drove him to Radical 6, but not me.
Hey.
Hey, who's Monodom?
Eh?
Huh? You already forgot? That's kinda scary.
Well now.
Well, it's like another class trial has been wrapped up without incident, so I'm gonna take back this here Necronomicon.
Wah, 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 wah.
Wow, wow, wow. Seems like a waste, though. You guys sure you don't want to use it? You guys really shouldn't have brought someone back to life, and you guys really should have brought someone back to life and add them to your roster.
Just shut up! How long are you gonna keep talking about that?
I told you.
Ignore him. The whole resurrection ritual is obviously a lie. He's just trying to shake us mentally to get us to panic.
What's the point?
I'm assuming you'll think another murder will happen if you do that, right?
Who can say?
What a waste. If none of you were gonna use it, you should have let me have it. Then I could have resurrected one of my dead siblings. Which one? Well, I don't know. They were all pretty terrible, actually.
Yeah.
Wait, did one of us die? I could have sworn it's been just the two of us this whole time.
Oh my god. Wow. I thought that anyway. It's too bad you missed your chance to raise the dead. That's what you get for doubting me. Too bad.
So long. Farewell.
Now he still talks about raising the dead.
Always messing around.
Man, this is stupid. What people believe in is up to them, but living people shouldn't have to suffer because of the dead.
Of course!
The living are more precious than the dead, no matter what. It's not something a coward like you should say. Just shut up. Leave me alone. But there's one thing this case taught me. I thought there was a god watching over us, but there isn't after all. Not in this academy.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right.
Well, that's why we have to work together, right? Face it together. Our ultimate talents are the best weapons we have.
Going to do his best.
Then going to do his best to protect everyone's... to keep everyone safe. Going to want to protect everyone.
But your talent is entomology. I don't want Shuichi to use his ultimate talent anymore. I'm getting sick of class trials.
You're right.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, your talent as an assassin is way more trouble. When are you gonna use that, huh?
Okay,
I'll work hard until everyone trusts my ultimate talent.
that's right.
It may not be possible now, but I'll put in the effort so everyone can trust me. I won't run away anymore. I want to survive and escape this place with everyone. Maki. I see. I wonder how long that'll last. What if your true calling as a killer shows? Don't underestimate her. Maki Roll is one of my sidekicks.
Got a minute?
I don't remember being your sidekick. Also, didn't I tell you to stop calling me Maki Roll?
Oh.
You guys are so close now. This must be the powerful bond of friendship. But I would have preferred it to happen sooner, especially not after losing 7 people.
Yeah. You're right. Only 9 people left now. Wow, what do you know? The dumbass can do basic math. That's right. 7 pieces of shit have been flushed away, and only 9 remain.
Actually...
By that calculation, doesn't that make you one of the pieces?
But...
Just 9 of us.
Well, you know...
Humans are like weeds, too numerous to count. 7 of us dead doesn't mean much in the end.
Shit.
That's totally what the heartless robot is thinking, right? Right?
How rude!
No, I'm not thinking that. Your blatant robophobia is simply inexcusable.
But you know...
But hey, none of us gave up, right? I know we're all gonna escape. I'm not gonna rely on a god, spirits, or the dead.
I believe in you.
Just you guys. I believe in all of you.
Okay.
Kaido.
Well, of course.
You're right. Those of us who remain can start over.
Hey!
Hold up. Keyboy needs to apologize to everyone for the whole student council thing. And there's only one kind of apology that I'm willing to accept.
How exciting!
Yank your head off and smash it into the ground with all your strength. Got that?
No way!
I've never heard such an intense form of apology.
Seems like everything is settled for now. Even though we're missing her.
You alright?
Himiko, you okay? Anything Gonta can do to help? You can tell Gonta.
Hey!
I think we should let her have some space for now. That might be the best for her.
Okay.
I remember how I felt.
Oh.
Oh. Gonta understand.
You're so dumb.
God, Himiko is such a liar.
Huh? Because I'm a liar.
Personally, I don't think lies are exactly a bad thing. Let's face it, you wouldn't have any free will if the world was comprised with just the truth.
But
even then, I don't think it's good to lie to yourself, you know?
Right?
What are you saying? Think about Himiko's feelings a little bit.
nuh-uh.
I only said this because I thought about it.
Because...
Himiko has been lying to herself about her own feelings, so she's been holding back.
Hey!
Hey, what are you repressing? Why are you trying so hard to hold back? What? Hold back? Expressing your feelings is perfectly natural. You shouldn't feel ashamed at all. So, if you feel like crying while you're talking to Angie, go ahead and cry your eyes out. You'll feel better when you do. Well, I mean, laughing makes you feel better too. And venting your anger onto something can really cheer you up. Train your heart by crying, laughing, and venting your anger, Himiko.
Tenko, Angie, I'm so lonely. I am so lonely without you too. But I gotta survive. I still can't go to where you are. But I'm lonely. I'm so lonely without the both of you.
Himiko.
Crying ensues.
Damn it. Himiko cried for a long time. She cried as if she was releasing all the emotions she had bottled up inside. Yeah, she just usually just acted like dead inside, just didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Before we knew it, as if lured by her doing so, we began crying. The tears we shed, I can't even describe it. We were crying about what we had been through and what was to come. Just everybody crying together. Sadness, hatred, frustration, discord, anger, love, tears filled with emotion. But at the very least, they weren't tears of submission. They were tears to push us forward. Dang. After a while, Himiko finally calmed down. However...
Is she hard to carry, Gonta?
No, she fine.
She's sleeping very peacefully.
She's all tuckered out after crying. Robots sleep well after leaking their oils too, right?
I have told you many times that I do not use oil as my fuel source.
But wow, that really surprised me. She passed out as soon as she stopped crying.
Yeah, but she looks so peaceful sleeping like that.
She probably felt better after letting it all out, don't you think?
Yeah, I hope so.
Then Gonta carry Himiko to her room.
Make sure you focus real good on your back, you hear me? You'll need that focus if you want to feel her little mosquito bites poking ya!
There's no way he'd do such a thing. Gonta is a gentleman after all.
Yeah. While we were heading back to the dorms, I suddenly noticed Kaido had stopped in his tracks. Kaido, what's wrong? Oh, nothing. I just wanted to get some night air. Don't worry about me. Go on ahead.
Huh?
Are you sure?
Well...
Are you sure? Anyway, don't do something like this again, okay? If you dislike scary things, then you should have said so earlier. I thought you were sick. You worried about me? Yeah, worried about your stupidity. Still haven't warmed up to me, huh?
But...
Maybe not, but I feel like the walls we had up are coming down a little, you know? Perhaps those walls were her enemies. Seems like she doesn't want to wait anymore.
Got it.
Yeah, 'cause of me.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe, but you sound like you're breaking, Kaido. But like I said, I'm gonna get some air before I go back. You can go on ahead.
Okay.
Sure, got it. See you tomorrow.
Got it.
Yeah, see you tomorrow. After our goodbyes, I returned to my dorm. I didn't notice what was going on with Kaido. Oh no, he coughed.
Damn it! I don't have time to be dying. I still haven't gone into space yet. Damn it. No way am I gonna die here. No way.
Oh no.
What is it, like intense bronchitis or something?
I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. Anyway, surviving members 9. To be continued.
I see.
What's our reward? Obtain the mysterious mask.
So creepy.
Do you want to save? Heck yeah, we do. Okay. So what do you think of all that?
Very weird.
Yeah. So everyone, if you enjoyed this, then liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing are all appreciated. The most important thing, though, that thou must absolutely do is have a nice day.
So long. Farewell.
Bye, Onara.